every one of those people an absolute freak. Oh, we're back. Okay, no worries.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging on for this, guys. Thanks for sticking around with us. Yeah, so we're back. We'll just continue where we left off. So what I was basically saying is we have a lot of really high level competitors here today that I don't think should be taking risks. So Punch Buggy with Herbie, Blackhawks, Amarok's Fang, all of them are at a really, really high spot on the leaderboard. And I think it's probably worth their time to not be too aggressive with some of their overtakes today and just once again, try to solidify a solid top 8 position. It's kind of the way to play these last 3 rounds, right? If you are in those higher spots. And for everyone else, it's definitely risk-taking time. Let's see if you can push it as hard as you can. Let's see you take those risky chicken spots, underneath the 890J. That's what I'm looking for today.
I think it's gonna come down to, right, if people are pretty much neck on neck, like gonna stop and slow down and to not risk exploding or hitting to one of those Lynx rovers and just let them pass through, because that's what it's gonna come down to, right? You're not gonna have the ability to really pass anybody in between those Lynx rovers, so it's definitely gonna be very, very interesting to watch. If we have any views, let's get on over to see if there's any views on the setup of the server launch. But Croncy, let's talk about the heat groups, right? Because right now, the heat groups are set. Right now, we have heat group number 1 is going to be Triple R Racing, Amarok's Fang, Skyer Alpha, and Ghost Corporation. But unfortunately, Ghost Corporation, it seems like they had some issues. They didn't show up today. So we're going to have 3 teams between heat group number 1. Between Triple R Racing, Amarok's Fang, and Skyer Alpha, who do you think is going to be able to take this heat group number 1, Croncy?
I mean, Amarok's Fang have proved themselves to be absolute beasts this tournament. They've been very consistent. Ludox has been someone who wasn't really on my radar before the beginning of the tournament, that's just been outperforming every single race. So for that heat, I'm probably betting on Ludox there. However, this isn't necessarily their favorite vehicle, but they got to use the STV last week. They still ended up coming 3rd, so they definitely got some sort of experience with it.
Well, sorry to pop the party there, Croncy, but Ludox is on Team Blackhawks. Amarok's Fang is on its Gravity Cat that's going to be driving. Yeah. So it's all right, man. There's a lot of racers to keep up with. So, but yeah. So yeah, heat group number 1, I think Amarok's Fang. Like I keep saying this over and over time, right? I think like Skyer Alpha, even though like you look at the leaderboard and you see a lot of these people with low points, don't count those people out, right? Because they're there for a reason, right? In order for them to qualify, they had to qualify against 70 other racers, and this is the top 16. So I think anybody that's still in that 8th, that 9th to 16th place spot is still going to be able to come and hopefully place first in any of these races. So, it's just all about the dedication and practice that you can put in. So I think it's going to be a very, very, a very competitive race overall. But let's head on over to heat group number 2, Croncy, where you have Team Nomies, Team Blackhawks, Team Leviathan, and Team Far Out. So with heat group number 2, seems like a very high level teams. Throughout the competition. You got Thoron, who's racing for Far Out. You have Ludox, who's been racing every single race for Team Blackhawks. You got Quelstar that is going to be in for the Nomies, and then Juice Man for Team Leviathan. Croncy, what do you think about heat group number 2 here today?
Yeah, so if we just cut and paste what I said about Ludox earlier into this one, I think this one actually it's a little bit harder to tell, So once again, Ludox is probably the favorite of the 4, but it feels a lot closer. So, Team Nomies had a really, really good performance in the early few races that we had, and they've been messing around with their roster, and they've been putting in the correct racer pretty much every time. So Quelstar is someone to beat, and I'm not 1,000% sure, but this might actually be the first time that we've seen Juice Man. If not, I'm really excited to see what they can pull off today. And then Thoron, Diplomat sitting out for this one, bringing in Thoron, another very well accomplished racer, and should be able to pull ahead. But I think, Ludox, I think probably will edge this one out for that heat.
Yeah, very excited. I think Thoron is a great racer. So I believe, you can't count out far out. They're sitting in that
Yep.
top 8 spot as well. So I mean that could be an opportunity for them to kind of climb that ladder. So I mean, never leave far out of there. But you said you had Ludox there. Ludox has been really putting in the time every single week to come in and compete at a high level. So hopefully, this race can work out for him. So moving on to heat group number 3. We have Team Splen, which Splen is not going to be here today. So we have Toke, who's going to be racing in that position in the STV. We have Frontier Consolidated Racing, where we have Tint. We had Capcom Alpha, which we have Circle Worm, which Circle Worm really, really was racing at a high level here in race number 4 for Cloud Chasers, but blew up, man. He blew up towards the end where he had that first place spot around lap number 8. Croncy ended up blowing up, and that was unfortunate, but I thought he should have won that. He would have probably had it on lock because he was really, really just super concentrated. Didn't mess up a lap until towards the end. So hopefully Circle Worm and Team Catcom Alpha can really turn that around and bring it in race number 5. And then obviously, lastly, Infinite Empire. We got Aaron the God in this heat group number 3. Croncy, out of these 4 teams, what do you think is going to happen here in heat group number 3?
Yeah, Aaron the God was one of my favorites to win the whole tournament at the start of this series, but we've had a couple of unfortunate races throughout the course, and I think it is definitely Aaron's time to shine. This type of ground racing is where Aaron excels 100%. I've seen him racing; he is an absolute beast. So probably a strong favorite there. However, Tint from Frontier Consolidated has been crushing the racing scene left and right recently in all different forms of leagues, all different forms of time trials, all that sort of stuff. So if I'm going to put a name to it, I'll say probably we're going to see Aaron finish in first place for that heat and Tint in second, moving on to the semifinals.
Wow, that's that's some good stuff there. So I can't count Catcom Alpha out with Circle Worm. So I think, again, it's going to be high level because a lot of the times that we're trying to figure out who's going to be able to win, who's going to be able to go here and there, it's so hard to choose, sometimes. So, but it seems like a lot of the racers are almost ready to go. But, hey, heat group number 4, let's talk about this one really quickly. We got Delta Didus Racing, where we got Chickalik on the driver's wheel. We have Team Viva, unfortunately. They're going to be out of the race today as well, having some issues with character reset and all that good stuff. So, sorry to hear about Team Viva having those issues. They were our champion last year, but we got Kuroda Racing Saji Sama back on the wheel as well. And then heat group number 4, we got, Punch Bucky, we got Herbie there. And, I'm going to start it off with this one, Croncy. I mean, Saji Sama can come out and really impress at any moment. So I feel like Saji Sama, I think this can be his time to shine. I think this can be his time to race. So I would like to see Sanji Sama come out in first place on this one. Because I really want to see some of these teams catch up to Herbie on that leaderboard. But I think his determination is so strong. I think Herbie has been putting in the time, the practice, and it's just hard to keep up with him. So what are your thoughts on heat group number 4 here, Croncy?
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting one to watch out for because really both Checkleak and Herbie, while they, obviously you'd like to win, they could be pretty comfortable with a second place position in this heat. Sanji really is going to want that first place position. So I think we're probably going to see Sanji absolutely send it. We're going to see some risky plays, and we know that Sanji can do them when push comes to shove. So it's going to see, we'll see what happens between Herbie and Checkleak, how they sort of approach this first heat. I sort of agree with you. I think Sanji probably going to pull it out ahead. If only just to, let's get rid of the villain. Let's get Herbie out of here.
let's get Herbie out of here. That's some words I've never thought you would be saying here today, Croncy. But man, you're just savaging out of there. It's like, hey, we need to let some people catch up to you, Herbie,
Exactly.
Because I really want a nail biter. I really want a nail biter for that first place. But before we jump into this, we're almost ready to go for this race number 5 here, presented by Game Glass. Let's call it, I forgot what this race is called. It's a STV short circuit is what we're going to call it. So Yeah. So STV Short Circuit is what we're going to call it today. But let's take a look at what's coming up next for race number 6, which is going to be, well, it was race number 2, but we had it turn into race number 6. But let's take a look at the Dragonfly course that's coming up in 2 weeks on June 10th here, Croncy. We're going to talk about these while they get ready. But guys, do not miss out, because this is by far one of the most insane races that you're going to really be able to watch. This Dragonfly race is going to be absolutely incredible, going through the River Canyon on Microtech. So I raced this myself, Croncy, and man, I'm super excited to see all these racers, do a couple laps on here, because it's an insane race. So this one's coming up next. Croncy, what are your thoughts on this race overall?
Yeah, this is bound to be a very exciting one. We have a river race with a hopefully, actually, with the way that this race has been set out, not result in 90% of people exploding, which is awesome. I'm very excited for that. And we have 2 really awesome parts of the track. The straightaway, simple as you might think. We're going to see a lot of people fall ahead in that straightaway, but because the beauty of it is that you then go into the canyon, you can make up that distance. It's a really, really awesome way to do it. So I'm excited to see this happen, as well as it just be an extremely cinematic race as well.
Yes, correct. I totally agree with those points. And like I said, man, if you some of these tracks are going to be on SCR.GG, I promise you guys will not be disappointed. Make sure you're here on June 10th, ready for this race number 6 on Microtech, where we call River Canyon Chaos. So moving up next is going to be our incredible in last race, one of the best races that we've seen every single year, the Lorville Loop. And now this is the old map, Croncy, because we're going to have a new map. Everybody knows in 319, Lorville completely changed. The gates, it's a lot bigger, so the race is going to last a lot longer. So what are your thoughts on what you think we're going to see with the new changes to Lorville coming up? The new changes to Lorville, period, in 319, Croncy.
Yeah, it's a very, very different race for sure. We're going to be seeing also a lot of different tactics around the gates and whatnot now, as there is, some no-flight zones that exist there now. So we're going to see probably a wider race. It might end up being a little bit of a longer race, but honestly, I don't care about that, because this is my favorite race to watch every single year. Race every single year, but I watch it on the side. It's fine. Really excited to watch it. I've been hearing some good things. Herbie has been doing a little bit of practice and popped into my chat and said, it can be really interesting. I just need to work out, where exactly I can fit. And once we get a finalized map for it, I mean, it's the best way to end the S7 every year.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And something about this last race that makes it so unique is that not only are they using 4 different vehicles, they actually have to stop, go from gate to gate, skip a gate from gate 1 to gate 3, change vehicles, respawn new vehicles, and then around the race they go. So I'm super excited to see this race and how these racers are going to be able to change the dynamic, because I don't right now when you look at the track, Croncy, it feels like it's a complete straight line, or a nice quick circle. But I know with the new Lorville, it's not going to be like that. There's going to be some detours that some of the racers are going to have to take, and it's going to be an absolutely incredible race coming up here on June 17th. So guys, don't go anywhere for this for the finals June 17th. Make sure you guys are here. Make sure you guys are following on all of our platforms, wherever you're watching, because I'm telling you, the next 2 races coming up are going to be absolutely magnificent to watch. So very excited for those, Croncy.
Yeah, definitely very, very excited, but very excited to see where the leaderboard hits before it. Every single time we get to the 7th race, there's always some sort of battle happening. We saw it with Diplomat and Nezrathil last year, a really, really big battle right at the end. I'm excited to see what happens. And today is probably going to be the thing that determines what we're going to be watching for. Are we going to watch for a first place position? Are we watching for podium finishes? Who knows? But first off, look at that Lynx. Isn't she beautiful?
Yep, I think we're just about ready here. So we're going to be giving a countdown here to some of these racers, here in a few moments. And again, heat group number 1, just in case you guys are mistaken, is going to be Triple R Racing, Amarok's Fang, Skyr Alpha, and Ghost Corporation going head-to-head here. Top 2 racers move on to runner-up finals, first place finals, and then second place runner-up finals to fight for those points versus the other heats that are going to get that top 2 spot. So countdown is coming up. Everything is looking great so far. Dude, I'm excited for this one, Croncy. I feel like the length is going to be good. They have to do 10 laps in a figure 8 in order to be able to nail that first or second place spot. Hopefully no explosions. Hopefully we see some smooth racing and we see the beauty of Microtech. But let's take a quick look at our overview camera as well here.
Yeah, and a quick reminder that I do believe Ghost Corporation are out for today. So this is just going to be Triple R, Amarok's Fang, and Sire Alpha. So only one of these competitors will not be making it to the runner-ups or the finals.
Well, let's see who that's going to be, man. I want to see Salem Frost come out swinging. You know, my brother's from Spain, so we're going to get a countdown here in about 2 more minutes, Croncy, but I'm very excited here. So, you know, shout outs to our camera team, shout outs to our security, shout outs to everybody who is helping to make these events happen. And Croncy, we're lucky because I know servers weren't at its best lately, but I mean, I'm very excited to see these guys go at it.
Yeah, it was a bit harrowing only 2 hours ago, but it seems like everything sort of sorted itself out just for us, just for the Atmo team. So it's awesome to see.
Hey, don't say that, man, because people are going to be like, oh, they got favorites happening. They got this going on. Look, we're playing the same game that you guys are playing at home. So I don't want to, you know, I don't want to hear that at all. But I'm very, very excited to get this race on the way here very, very soon. So I'm going to be giving the countdown here down for the team. And then, man, look at that view. I love it. It looks incredible. I can't wait.
One thing to remember for all of those at home is the start line is next to the Caterpillar, but the finish line is actually underneath the 890J. So if you're watching for any battles while the races are going on, that's what you got to be checking on. You got to be checking on when they're actually passing the 890J.
Yep, 100%. And again, you guys are going to see that we put some Lynx rovers in between the bottom of the 890J in order to have that positioning where they have to go through those instead of just the legs in order for them to be able to get that lap 1, lap 2, lap 3. So let's get our leaderboard up as well. If you guys are looking right above us, you guys should be seeing a leaderboard so you guys will be able to keep up with us, how long the race is lasting, what lap they're on, and what placement, you know, they're in, so you guys will be able to, you know, keep up with that. So big shout out to scr.gg for providing that. And if you guys are part of racing in the Star Citizen community, go check it out because you can compete for top leaderboards. You can compete for a lot of different things at scr.gg. So big shout out to Diplomat and you know, for having that site up there up and running.
Yeah, 100%. Diplomat has been doing an absolutely fantastic job with the community for the last couple of years. Another reminder, guys, we've got six races to go through today. So make sure you settle in, grab yourself, you know, a nice little cup of joe, maybe go and look at some of the Atmo Esports merch while we're waiting in between rounds. Get yourself a nice shirt. I know that I've got one on my way, Crucian, that I'm very excited to wear. Hopefully it gets here before Lawville Loop. I'm hoping.
Well, it'll get there, man. I promise. It's gonna get there soon. So, but Croncy, I mean, are you ready for a countdown?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get this going.
All right, let's get the countdown going. All right, racers, on go. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Here we go, Croncy. Take it away. Race number 5 has now started.
And we are off. And I think, thankfully, we actually may have 3 different skins to differentiate our 3 different races today, which is awesome to see. Hopefully, we can get a look at the overview camera just so we can see where everyone is, because we've already put ourselves into some positions. Now, we're not going to see much of a difference in the first few laps, most likely, between these guys. It's really going to come down to once we get to about lap number 5, lap number 6, when we're actually going to be seeing some overtaking. So there you go. You can see Gravity Cat at the front, for Amarok's Fang, followed by Pixie Guns and Salem Frost, right on top of each other, actually. These guys are battling it out. This is the instance where they may have to decide, do I back off a little bit to go under the 890J? And that is a beautiful sight. That looks really, really awesome. I think the crew's definitely done a really, really good job today. So coming around already for lap number 1. Not much change in the position there. Oh, but a little collision with the Caterpillar in the back there. Not 100% sure who that was. That's likely either Pixie Guns or Salem Frost. We'll see that very, very soon, but that is a large gap that has now opened up between second and third place. And there we go. It was Triple R Racing, it was Pixie Guns that had that collision. And look at that difference continuing around. It is such a large distance now after that one little collision. It can cost you everything. But Sire Alpha in a solid leading position. No mistakes, and they should be able to take this one. It should be a pretty quick heat for them. Remember, guys, we are doing 10 laps for this one. Not going to take them much longer. Guys, let us know if you can hear Cruise.
Sorry about that.
There we are.
All right, can you hear me? Okay. Yes, sorry about that. All right, I was just saying that the STV doesn't have any boost there, so it's going to be very, very tough because of the fact that the STV doesn't have boost, so they need to take these corners as tight as they can, so that way they're able to catch up. If not, if they're taking a wide spread there around these Caterpillars, they're not going to be able to do too much. So sorry about that. I don't know what happened with the microphone, but we are back, Croncy. Thanks for holding it down for us. But Gravity Cat, they're still neck on neck with Skyer Alpha. I'm loving this race so far, Croncy. Not only does it look great, but I think it's giving, the races an ability to kind of showcase their talent here, even though they're going in figure eights. It's 10 laps, so they need to make sure they keep that up in order to be able to win this one today.
Yeah, it's been incredibly smooth so far, which has been awesome to see. And we've been able to see, Amarok's Gravity Cat from Amarok's Fang and Salem Frost from Sire Alpha. That distance is ever so slightly, lap by lap, increasing by just a little bit, which is really, really awesome to see. Obviously, we're getting those little bit tighter turns. We will see what Pixie Guns can do. They've got a lot of ground to make up. They may be able to get themselves into position where they can finally get past Sire Alpha here. They're not too far behind, as we just saw them get past there, right? They're only about 6 seconds behind, which is one collision. It's incredibly, incredibly precise what could happen there.
Yeah, teams are looking good so far, already halfway through, only 3 minutes in. So it's looking about a 10-minute race per each heat right now. So Amarok's Fang continuing to keep that lead, but still being traced by Skyer Alpha. And I'm telling you right now, just like race number 4, where you had Cloud Chasers, when you have somebody behind you, it's going to put that pressure on you because you have to race perfect in order to keep that lead here for Amarok's Fang. But Gravity Cat staying composed, doing a great job so far, and just trying to keep it going, keep it steady. But, I think Skyer Alpha, if they can keep up by staying behind, taking those sharp turns as quickly as they can around those Caterpillars, they should be able to catch up and hopefully put more pressure behind Amarok's Fang. So right now, teams are doing great. Only 1 second behind here, doing a good job so far, Croncy.
Yeah, about a second and a half different distance. The distance, though, between Sire Alpha and Triple R Racing has extended a little bit. They've only got, the other half of the race to try to get back that difference. A big thing here, though, is that Amarok's Fang are on 41 points on the leaderboard right now. Sire Alpha are on 4. They can absolutely blow up the leaderboard if they're able to get past here. So there is some stuff on the line. Let's see what you can do, Sire Alpha. See if you can make it in there. But some fantastic racing from all 3 of our competitors right now.
Yeah, Pixie Guns, you see Pixie Guns a little bit way behind there for Triple R Racing. And you see a lot of these guys. Look how close they are right now. Man, Amarok's Fang and Skyer Alpha really going at it, but still can't pass. They're neck on neck right now. Are not able. Here they go right through the bottom of the 890 through the links. I'm telling you, Croncy, they are neck to neck, and the sharper they take on those Caterpillars, Skyer Alpha is able to catch up to them. So not even a second, half a second you know, right there. And then you got Triple R Racing really, really far away. I don't think Triple R Racing is going to be able to catch up at this point, Croncy.
Well, it could be really interesting once again, right? We've seen, obviously, Star Alpha was able to close that distance to Amarok's Fang. When you do get right next to each other, that's when you start making those mistakes. It's when you start making those really risky plays. So there is a world where we see, you know, a collision with these two absolutely fantastic racers, and Triple R is able to exploit that basically and get back up there. They've been at about 10 seconds behind for the last 3 or 4 laps, so they're at least not losing any more time. It's just about gaining it, obviously.
Yep, and I right there where I saw Skyer Alpha mess up a little bit, that they took that pretty wide turn around the Caterpillar and weren't able to, you know, continue closing that gap. So, you know, like this racing on this ice, I mean, the full mechanic is not there for a ground vehicle, but it still becomes that slippery slope where, you know, if you're not going fully around, you're not even gonna be able to catch up. So the sharper turns that you know, Salem Frost is able to take, that's what is gonna be able to make him catch up to Amarok's Fang, you know, quicker. But again, no boost on the STV, so Amarok's Fang taking advantage, continuing the lead with 3 laps to go, Croncy.
Yeah, not much longer left now. I am very impressed that Amarok's Fang has basically been able to maintain the lead since the beginning of the race. You know, there are a lot more issues in the back between Sire Alpha and Triple R. Just a little bit of desync there. These guys are still very much right on each other. And you've got to be sweating a little bit if you're Amarok's Fang at the moment. And was that an upside down car I just saw? Possibly Triple R Racing. I'm not 100%.
Yeah, I think Triple R Racing did tumble over there. From what I saw, they Pixie Guns is still going. They probably flipped back over, but here comes the last 2 laps here for Amarok's Fang and Skyer Alpha. I mean, there are a little couple bumps on the ice, but I mean, it's not in their path, so they should. I mean, turning over. I mean, is it probably too much of a turn? You know, but right here they go right through the Lynx Rovers again. And 2 more laps to go. Amarok's Fang staying composed as they can. They really, really want this win in order to kind of, you know, continue to put some massive points on the board and hopefully take over that 1st to 2nd place spot on the leaderboard, Croncy.
Yeah, definitely. And look, that turn was magnificent. That just changed a bunch of the fight here. So Sire Alpha may make a break for it. If not, they're at least going to make up some more time. And look how close they've gotten each other in lap number 9. 0.007 seconds behind each other. That is incredibly fast. If we don't see a pass here, I will be very, very impressed. This is incredibly great racing for this end of this track.
No, I don't think we'll see a pass. Amarok's Fang's turning, as you can see. I see a little bit of a bumpy turn there from Salem Frost, but I think Amarok's Fang really has it down. Gravity Cat doing a great job at taking those curves around the Caterpillar. So here goes the last lap for Amarok's Fang in order to move on to that winner's final and putting Skyer Alpha down in that runner-up finals. They need to be able to turn perfectly, but I think Amarok's Fang has been doing it, and I think they're going to solidify this win in heat group number 1, Croncy.
Yeah, we'll see in just a moment's time. They do have to go around the course one last time for their lap number 10. Only a second distance between, a second difference between them. It's likely going to have to be some sort of collision to stop these guys. Triple R Racing just going to hope that something happens that they're able to exploit, make sure they're still going around as fast as possible. But look, there we go, right on top of each other once again, but a little too much oversteer out of the Caterpillar, losing a bunch of that ground. It's a little unfortunate to see, but look where they've ended up.
Yeah, I mean, this, and we continue to see this throughout the course of this race today, right, Croncy? Because, again, Amarok's Fang just knows how to turn really well, is really putting Salem Frost in the dust. I mean, this could be a whole different race with the boost. He goes over, he's about to go in, and Skyer Alpha, there's a bump. It's going to happen. Triple R Racing is coming back. What is happening here? Amarok's Fang in the green, Skyer Alpha overtaking after that bump. Are they going to be able? Who's going to finish first? Oh, my goodness. They're neck on neck right now.
Who's going through the body?
I see Skyr Alpha in the front. Skyr Alpha is winning. Skyr Alpha taking over with #1 over Amrox Fang, setting them to the runner-up finals. What a race, Croncy. Holy shit.
That was impressive. I think it's very likely, due to, you know, a bunch of things, that there may actually be a bit of a photo finish thing there. We may have to get a confirmation on who 100% won. As I saw on the reporting, it looked like Amrox Fang had a lower time than Sire Alpha. So I'm not 100% sure what happened, but what a finish. What a turn. That was insane. Let's see if we can see a replay of that.
That was incredible, man. Seeing Skyr Alpha had that tip in front. I mean, we do have an official down under the 890 jump replay, but that was absolutely nuts, Croncy. That was the best neck-on-neck racing we've seen already. Race number 5 delivering here in the System 7, presented by Game Glass. What a race.
Yeah, so you can see this overtake here, the collision as they're trying to just edge it out a little bit, basically resetting themselves, and then both pretty much right on top of each other as they head in towards the final stretch. This is only the first heat of 6 that we're watching today, and it's already possibly the most exciting race we've ever seen. And look at this finish, as they both collide into each other and go through.
Nope, that looks like Skyr Alpha. We'll get a word from our officials right now, but to me, it looks like Skyr Alpha, you know, did win that last one. It was going to put Amrox Fang in a spot where they can only get a limited amount of points, up to 8 right now. But with Skyr Alpha being, you know, pretty dropped down in the leaderboard, they're going to be able to, you know, fight for those 25 points. But Croncy, that was an absolute incredible racing. The replay, I feel like Skyr Alpha did take it, because I think towards the end on that bump, they did get that, you know, that push. But man, what a race. That was some neck-on-neck stuff, man. I love seeing that.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be one that our officials are probably going to have to double check over and over again. You know, sometimes you get different perspectives and whatnot. It does look like, at least on the timer, that Amrox Fang have taken it, but I think it's far too close for us to call until we get to our later heats. So I'll be really interested to see what exactly happens with this race. But fantastic performance from all 3 races. It was awesome to watch the entire time. Well done. We'll see you guys in the finals.
Yeah, I know. I don't think the timer, because this is a heat race, and whoever got through that last finish line is supposed to be the one that won that. But man, that got me so excited right there, Croncy. And like you said, we still have heat group number 2. We got Nomi's Blackhawks, Team Leviathan, and Far Out coming up next, man. But dude, that was so close. We'll get an official word here soon from our race officials. But hey, that was seriously a great race so far. I did not know it was going to get that close. But Amrox Fang taking that wider turn, letting Skyr Alpha come in that middle, in that center, in between, and getting that bump on their favor, being able to finish strong there, Croncy. Wow, that's a great race.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. So next up, competitive one. It's also, you know, we just saw what a 3-car race looked like. We're going to put another one on there. Let's see if there's a little bit more competitiveness. All of those little takeovers that we saw, or those takeover attempts that we saw, are now twofold, and the collisions are even more likely. So should be an interesting one.
Well, we just got a word from our official that Salem Frost did bring that one home, moving on to the winners finals and dropping Amrox Fang down to the runner-up finals. Croncy, man, that was my favorite finish by far. That was absolutely insane, man. I cannot wait for heat group number 2, because, man, that put such a smile on my face. I was losing my mind over here. I'm like, dude, what's happening? Oh, man, that was so good, man. So, hey, big shout-outs to the racers. I know Amrox Fang is probably a little bit bummed out, but overall, man, I'm pretty sure, you know, they're still, you know, they're so competitive, man. That was a great finish. That was a photo finish by far. That was awesome.
Yeah, and like I said at the start of the race, right? Amrox Fang, you know, Amrox Fang, Herbie, Delta Diatus, these teams don't really need to go super hard this race. They just want a top 8, and that's confirmed Amarok's vying for top 8, right? So they're going to have a pretty solid amount of points. They're obviously still going to want to get that 5th place position to get those extra points, but they've got to be pretty happy.
Correct.
But for Sire Alpha, guaranteed top 4, and they were previously on 4 points. This is going to absolutely skyrocket them up the leaderboard, pretty much regardless of where they end up in that heat.
That's why I keep telling people, right? It doesn't matter. Like, we have 3 races left. You have race 5, 6, and the finals. Can you imagine if Skyr Alpha really comes out and gets top 2 placements on all the races? That easily puts them in that top 3 spot, no problem. So they're going to come out, right? If they win this race, that's going to boost their confidence. They're going to be able to go up, and then they're going to be able to, you know, get on top of that leaderboard and get that pillar. They hit, you know, top 3 in the Daymar Rally. Skyr Alpha is always at our events. They're veterans, so don't count them out, Croncy. Don't count them out, because they're coming to play. And Salem Frost just showed, you know, what you know, continuing to stay focused and how that can boost your confidence. He's gonna go in super happy into that finals after, you know, this race number 1, and I think they're gonna come out swinging, wanting that number 1 spot.
Yeah, for sure. And it does look like we do have the next group ready. First off, thank you so much, Racers, for being very, very organized. Love to see it. So yeah, Crucian, let's get this one going. Let's hear a countdown.
All right. Well, on 10 and on my go in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Race heat group number 2 in race number 5 of the System 7 is underway. Croncy, take it away.
Yeah, you look, already a lot more of a complex situation than we had in the last race. We're already seeing a bunch of taking over. We're seeing a collision there, I believe, just happened. So someone's been pushed out the back, and it looks like at the moment we have a clear front place position. But as we saw last race, it's not so solid. We can see some finishes later on that might change everything. So we've got Ludox in the front place position at the moment. Quelsar following behind, then Juiceman, Thorin a little bit further behind. They were part of that collision that we saw at the beginning, and so they've got a lot of ground to make up. But Quelsar and Ludox right on top of each other in this first lap.
Yep, I mean, I feel like this is a good one here. And again, I keep saying this about the STV because I want people to understand there is no boost. So for you to catch up, you need to be able to concentrate. You need to be able to stay focused because, you know, again, Croncy, it's all about turning around these caterpillars. Or can, you know, is it sharp turns? You know, I think I see a lot of racers. I think it's not the racers specifically, but the STV is somewhat, you know, I'm going to say it's a bit tough to turn on, you know, close to the caterpillars because you don't want to hit the leg of it. You don't want to be able to mess up. So I think they're taking those wider turns to start off wide and then go in closer as they go up to that second turn and able to kind of, you know, cut that corner. But right now, man, like you said, Leviathan, Ludox, neck on neck right now.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like we're getting some news from down on the field that we may be getting a reset in soon. Not 100% sure what happened on the field. Maybe there was a collision with one of the officials or a false start. Not 100% sure. So we'll get some news on that for you guys soon. But what we do get to see is how fantastic these races are. So we can sort of see what we're going to expect after this reset begins.
Yep, I believe that we are going to be doing a reset for this one because the Lynx was moving on the track, which I believe that's why Far Out had a really bad start there. So everybody's going to come back to the beginning right now. So we should be able to reset this one and be good to go. I think that it wasn't a crash between the races. It was more of a crash from that Lynx that was moving. So they're going to reset it real quick to be fair for everybody. And then we're going to get this heat group number 2 underway once again, Croncy.
Yeah, for sure. And luckily, it's an easy reset. That's what I love about these kinds of races. When we do have this sort of issue, we can get very quickly back into the swell of things. I mean, look, they're basically already lined up once again, right? So yeah, a little bit just to help the races through because we had some issues. But we get to see a nice, solid, and fair race.
Yep. So good on everybody for being. It's good on everybody that everybody's talking to each other and everybody's agreed to reset the race overall. So, but man, that was already a bumpy start there. You saw Ludox coming out, already from trying to get on top of that. But I think we should be able to see something more fair and closer right now that we had a reset, Kronzi.
Yeah, definitely. I will say, based on what we saw there already, Crucian, how do you think this one's going to turn out? We saw both Quelsar and Ludox right on top of each other for the majority of that race. What do you think is going to happen?
I think Quelsar, from seeing some of his streams, I feel like he has a lot of time with the STV. I think he should be able to take advantage of the corners and continue closing that gap and kind of putting that pressure on Ludox if that happens again. But if not, I think Quelsar is going to be that person that may be able to just take the race overall and hopefully put some points on the board for his team, and hopefully bring Nomies out of that state where they haven't had any points lately. So, but hey, they're ready to go again. Kronzi, are you ready to go for another swing here at this heat group number 2?
Yeah, let's go again. I'm excited to see these guys.
All right, racers. This time for real, okay? All right, we're gonna give you a on my go in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! All right, here we go.
And there we go. We have that restart.
Yep. Take it away, Kronzi. You got it.
Yeah, so once again, we're restarting. And like I mentioned earlier, it is a bit more of a complex situation here. We have 4 races already risking it right through. It looks like just barely. Oh, no, someone has flipped. Someone has flipped over. They were risking it coming right out of the 890J, but they were not able to salvage it. So they have flipped over. Luckily, they will. Whoa, what was that? Was that an explosion?
That was an explosion after taking damage, and both vehicles are going to be out of there. I believe they didn't reset him, so I think they took some damage in the prior race, and, that bump that happened, Pulsar is going to be out of there, and here comes Far Out and Team Blackhawks, man. That's going to put Nomies and I believe Team Leviathan out of there, but I don't think we're going to get a reset right now, Kronzi, because, they decided to bump at each other. They shouldn't have taken that risk, knowing that maybe the vehicle already took some damage, and there goes that explosion and put both teams out of there.
Yeah, well, even then we saw some, we saw some incredibly risky plays going through that 890J. No one was willing to give any ground as they went under. And so we saw that first collision, and then we've seen an explosion. So at the moment, we do have Far Out and Blackhawks, first and second place position, both pretty much right behind each other. So this is going to be a competition for, are you in the runner-up finals or the finals?
Man, I can't believe, look at that right there. Incredible overtake by Blackhawks. Just Thorin just taking a big wide turn around that Caterpillar, not able to kind of, put that handling in that STV that what it needs. Dude, I would be so bummed out because we had a reset here, and you got both Team Leviathan and Nomies just crash into each other, exploding both at the same time. If it was me, I would let him make that mistake and just kind of continue racing my race because it's so important for us to put these points on the board, and now they're not going to be able to do that, Kronzi.
Yeah, it is a bit of a shame, but it's, that's what this race is. You're unlikely, in this situation to explode from bugs or anything. So a lot of the times, if we see any incidents, it's going to come down to risk. Are you being a bit too risky? Are you not being risky enough is also the situation, right? Like we saw in the first race. But look at the distance these guys have behind each other. Blackhawks and Far Out literally neck and neck, but they also have a little bit of debris to watch out for now as they get past that second Caterpillar. So you don't want to be in a position where you're taking that a little bit too sharp, ramming into that, and then, damaging your own vehicle.
Yeah, right now Blackhawks is staying focused here. I know Ludox has been wanting this, man. Team from Italy, love to see it, but that was so tough. Everybody just with each other, but like Quelstar, both in Team Nobis and Team Leviathan collided, destroyed one another. So that was tough overall, man, to see some of these guys that really wanted to be on here and get that top 2 go out like that. But hey, we got Team Far Out. Can Thoron be able to stay focused and catch up to Ludox here, Crunchy?
Yeah, this will definitely be a big race for Team Far Out if they're able to get into the finals heat. Diplomat is an absolutely fantastic racer. We're seeing Thorin for Team Far Out today, absolutely pulling it off. If Thorin is able to get Team Far Out into those within spitting distance of the top 3, then that's Diplomat's time to shine. So I'm excited to see if Thorin can pull it off. There's been a little bit of back and forth, as we can see. The distance has been, getting smaller and longer every single lap. We're still very much in the early days, only just about to get past the halfway mark.
Yep, again, this is about an 8 to 10 minute race, which, it really all depends on the racers. Again, STV with no boost, racers are staying pretty much aligned in that position, right? So if something happens so far out, he still is able to get into that runner-up finals no matter what. But I feel like Thoron is not going to be satisfied. He wants to catch up. He wants to be able to close the gap between him and Ludox, but he's going to need to be able to, take those sharper turns in the Caterpillars, and they need to be careful with the current debris from Team Leviathan and Team Nomis, because if they hit that debris, that's going to either, have Far Out to take, to take the lead, or really set Ludox back, dropping him down to that runner-up final. So right now, it's all about the concentration and finishing these next 5 laps strong, Crunchy.
Yeah, definitely. We can see that distance is once again increasing a little bit more off of last map, probably by about another 20 meters or so. It's going to be hard to see how they can pull off that much distance, but we did see that happen last attempt with Salem Frost and Gravity Cat. So it's certainly not out of the realm of possibility. One thing, obviously, is you don't have to really worry yourself right now about any collisions except for with that debris. So there's no big reasons to take risks except when you're coming around this Caterpillar. If you are Far Out right now, you've got to start taking some sharp turns, maybe even, dare I say, start to get a little bit closer to the debris, maybe take it a little bit riskier. I don't know what I would do in this situation, but it's going to be interesting to see their choices.
Yeah, I think it's tough overall because number one, it's nighttime, right? So all you can see is, a few meters in front of you throughout this race right now, Crunchy. So, they are trying to be careful to, to not hit that debris. I think the only thing that's going to stay far right now is Blackhawks. They make their own mistakes, Crunchy, and they're not able to kind of hit those sharp turns, or they hit to the Caterpillar or hit that debris. So it's going to be up to Faith right now to see if Far Out is going to be able to hit that finals, for Team Far Out. But for right now, it seems like the concentration of Ludox once again is not letting Team Far Out close the gap.
Yeah, distance of about 6 seconds now. Prior, it was about 4 seconds. That distance is getting longer and longer. But pretty much both teams can be very confident that they're going to be in, the runner-up finals or the finals. So they're going to be picking up a solid amount of points today. They can be very confident in that at least.
Yeah, they should be fine. And it looks like, the Lynx rover there shaped as a V. There goes Thoron right through there. We only have about 3.5 more laps to go. So Ludox, man, is still that good 1 second ahead. And look at these turns here, Crunchy. I'm not like I've messed with the STV a lot, but it seems like it's a lot of teams are having difficulty hitting those sharp turns in this figure 8 course, in this STV short circuit. And because that's the only way you're going to be able to close to close the gap. There is no boost management that you worry about. So it's all about how quickly you can turn and how much time you can cut in order to catch up to your racer.
Yeah, exactly. Still about 6 seconds behind at this stage. With the turning that you're sort of mentioning, one thing that the STV definitely does is when you sort of swing it around, you can lose a lot of speed, right? So
Yep.
sometimes even taking the sharper turns aren't necessarily the best option, especially when you're at the first section of the Caterpillar and you're going to have to turn again. You know, it can be very, very fickle. But these guys have been doing some absolutely insane turns.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is that I think this is a very good race to actually use a gamepad with Croncy because a gamepad you definitely can get those turns a lot better than you can with a mouse and keyboard, in my opinion. Be able to brake a little better. So if I was any of these racers, man, I've practiced racing with a gamepad in Star Citizen. That's what I would be using right now for this race to have that extra maneuverability. But point 6 seconds away from from Blackhawks, Ludox, that's the gap. That's still a pretty big gap in terms of racing, Grants.
Yeah, they've been edging it out a little bit. You know, there was about 100 milliseconds there that ended up getting fixed, but you're in the last two laps, lap 9, lap 10, and that is it. So, barring any sort of collision, which, we did see some stuff like that in the first race, this is probably going to end up how we see it right now with these two races. So, only a little bit more, but it's likely going to end up that this is what we're going to see for runner-up finals and finals. And so a great job to both of these races.
Yep, I totally agree there. It seems like when you pick up the speed too in the STV and you're trying to, follow up on the Caterpillar, I mean, I hope that, that we get some type of like drifting that you can do once we get the new ground vehicle, system rework, because I know they're trying to make it feel a lot better within the game. So I'm looking forward to see how that changes the dynamic of racing, in Star Citizen and what we're in the events that we're doing, like the Demo Rally, along with System 7. But it looks like you are right here, Croncy. It looks like Ludox is going to be able to pull out the win. And I'm telling you right now, he's probably super excited because remember, during the Babbage Bash, Ludox was on point winning and he exploded, putting him all the way down to 4th place, only landing him 8 points when he could have had 25. So I think he's making it up here, doing really, really well on this last lap here in race number 5.
Yeah, once again, this is going to be an absolutely huge result for Blackhawks. This is going to put them in the finals race, which is going to give them, top 4 leaderboard points. And they're already at 44 points. They are, I believe, in 2nd place currently on the leaderboard. So this is their opportunity to try to get ahead of Punch Buggy. Team Far Out have also been doing an absolutely fantastic job. So Thorin did great job there. They are also at 22 points, so putting them into the other bracket. Once again, it's a nice amount of points for them to pick up, and these are the teams that definitely wanted them. So well done, Blackhawks and Far Out. Very unfortunate, Leviathan and Nomies just taking it a bit risky in some situations.
Yeah, that's going to be tough overall. But hey, shout out to Qualsar and shout out to Leviathan for coming out and try to get those points on the board as well. It's kind of it kind of sucks because they really, really wanted to, to come out and play, to come out and do their best. And sometimes you do, I think for this race it's so tough because if you gain the lead, you can keep the lead if you're staying concentrated, Cromsy. So I think like Qualsar and Qualstar and Juice Man, they didn't want to take that risk that where they're trailing behind, because then at that point they won't be able to catch up at all. So they're like, let's risk it all and gain 1st place, or we don't move it at all. So yeah, tough one.
Yeah, very much so. Now our races are going to be getting set up very soon, but we also have a little bit of debris to get off the track. So I'm going to quickly go over who we're going to be seeing in Heat Group 3. We have Took from Team Splen, Tint from Frontier Consolidated Racing, and Circuit Worm from Catcom Alpha, and Aaron the God from Infinite Empire. Definitely another race that we're really, really going to want to watch out for, because we've got some good races and some very, very well-positioned teams there.
Yep. So while they clear that debris out, and we, before we jump out of here, while they clear that debris out, I think this heat group number 3 is going to be really good as well. We have a lot of great teams that can also really put some points on the board and gain that, that top 5 spot that they really, really want. But when we get back after they clear that debris, we're going to take a quick break here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us today, all the way from home, to watch race number 5 here of the System 7. We'll be right back. So thank you so much for your support.
Head tracking adds so much to immersion in supported first-person games. When you try it, you're going to see why it makes so much sense. It's been created to seamlessly let you look where you want to, and with Tobii Eye Tracker 5, everything just works. Tobii has been the go-to name for head and eye tracking, and over time, their product has evolved. Their newest implementation has the most simplified setup because they did all the work for you. Offering both head and eye tracking, Tobii is able to track precisely through glasses or contacts, and once calibrated, it will never lose its center. The head tracking solution that integrates at the bottom of a flat or curved monitor, look at what you want to target sooner, look at what you want to lock your missile to, look at where you want to bomb, look in the direction that your ship is traveling to get the edge, look around and get the advantage. Just look and let Tobii Eye Tracker 5 do the rest in Star Citizen and a host of other simulation titles. It's so natural that you forget it's there.
Mayday, Mayday, this is Red Wind, FR 9183, requesting immediate support. I'm under fire from an unknown number of hostiles. Sending my location now.
HQ, strike team. Contract assigned.
HQ, strike team, roger. Proceeding to target. Red Wind, Foxtrot, Romeo, 90183, Walker strike team on site for assistance. HQ, strike team, contract fulfilled, ready for tasking.
Atmo Esports operates a little differently. Born from emergent community events like the Daymar Rally, the natural progression was to create esports events within an emergent environment and provide tournaments for esports teams in a unique way.
All right, here we go.
Every step you can count on me. Every step you can follow.
Whoa! Oh, baby, let's get this race started, guys. Let's go.
Atmo volunteers create events within massive sandbox gaming environments, and we work with talented community gamers to supply supporting roles such as camera crew, shoutcasters, event organisers, and so much more. Our team is a group of passionate professionals from all over the world, all with gaming in their veins. We operate purely online, and everything we do is created collaboratively.
It's gonna change the way we play the game.
Five, 3, 2, 1, go!
Your eyes are the gateway to your brain. It's time to start getting serious about protecting them. Reinforcements have arrived. Introducing Gamer Advantage, a gaming wellness company rooted in science. Patented, clinically proven, and trusted by thousands of people. Our glasses are designed to fit comfortably under a headset, look amazing, and offer protection indoors and out. Our lens will help you sleep better, which means feel better and perform better. There's no color distortion, and they are available in prescription. Internal protection starts with eye candy, an eye health, immune boost, and antioxidant formula. Fog Away, the #1 selling anti-fog spray for eyewear. Gamer Advantage. Gaming wellness reimagined.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the System 7 presented by Game Glass. Race number 5 here around the STV short circuit here on Microtech. Croncy, that last race, I know we had that reset, but that reset was because a Lynx rover was moving. And unfortunately, during, after the reset, both racers collided, which I believe they're all in the channel. So they kind of, everybody's talking to each other right now in the channels, all the racers. So they kind of, said, hey, we bumped into each other. The vehicles exploded, unfortunately, and they kind of, just had that bad luck, and unfortunately they were out of there. So, I mean, but what are your thoughts there on that reset from the last race and the results so far?
Yeah, look, it was a very unfortunate situation that happened where, we had a staff member, unfortunately, in the track. So we had to get through a reset, and I think we got through it pretty quickly, which was nice. We were able to get that second race started very, very quickly. What I want to talk about, though, is that first race with Pixie Guns, Gravity Cat, and Salem Frost. What a way to start off today. It was an absolutely fantastic race to watch, and a great finish, and really sort of set the mood for the rest of the heat. So I'm excited to see. We've only got 4 heats left already, right? Excited to see what we're going to witness for the rest of the day.
Yep, I mean, we have heat group number 3, which I believe they're lined up and almost ready to go right now. They're taking off debris out of the track, but we have Team Splend. We got Toke on the driver's side. We got FCR, Frontier Consolidated Racing, with Tint. In that driver's seat, Kakum Alpha, Circle Worm, and Aaron the God for Infinite Empire. So, we already have Amrox Fang and Team Far Out on the runner-up finals. And then so far in the finals, we have Skyer Alpha and Blackhawks, which I know Ludox really wants that first place spot. He's been practicing left and right, asking us a lot of questions like, hey, is this path legal? Are things okay? So, dude, it is very, very scary to see what could happen. Now, we got 2 more groups to go, Croncy. I mean, You said that you have Tint for this one. Are you sticking with that prediction?
Well, yeah. So I said I think Aaron and Tint are probably going to be our front two positions here. But it really comes down to what we see at the start. So much of this race is determined by who's taking risks right pretty much immediately into the 890J, and it could completely change the outcome. So it looks like they're ready, Crucian. Let's see what happens.
All right, let's get this race started and the countdown going. Let's head on up. All right, racers, on my go in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! All right, here we go, Croncy. We got heat group number 3 underway, where we see Circle Worm, Tint, Toke, and Aaron the God are going head-to-head right now. Croncy, take it away.
Yeah, like I said, I'm really excited to see what Aaron can do here. Certainly one of their, likely to be one of their better performances. And we do have a collision coming out of the 890J. Like I said, people are getting a little bit risky there. Luckily, no explosions, but there may be a little bit of residue damage there. So that has already completely changed the course of this race. We've got 2 races right at the front, and a second we go to look at that, we see a collision. I'd love to see who it is at the front right there, because that is huge for them. They now have a very commanding lead in front of these other 3 competitors.
Yeah, but remember, these turns, man, if they take these turns too wide, all the debris is out of there. If they take these turns too wide, they're going to be able to allow people to catch up there. So it seems like the leaderboard did change. So you have Frontier Consolidated Racing already in front there with Tint, as you called it right there. And we got Infinite Empire. We got Aaron the God right behind. We got Circle Worm in 3rd, and then Toke in that 4th place spot for Team Split. So these are going straight. He needs to be able to really race to perfection if he wants to be able to keep that lead going up. But you see Infinite Empire and Sky and Capcom Alpha getting very, very close to each other right now, Croncy.
Yeah, Team Split a little bit further behind, larger distance for them to cover here, but we did see Frontier Consolidated get through that position quite easily, and we can already see the distance between these races. It looked like Aaron and Circo Worm, the distance between them is starting to shorten. We're probably going to see a fight for 2nd place position here any moment, but you're still going to have to be careful around these caterpillars. If we stay in this view for a second, as it turns away, it's okay. If we stay in this view for a second, watch as they come around the caterpillar and watch the sort of strategies they take. We saw, Circuit Worm took a much, much closer approach there, and it's worked out for them. We now have Tint, Aaron, and Circuit Worm much more bunched up than they were going into that caterpillar.
Yeah, look, I think the races are looking great so far, but we're still in the same lead. No lead changes so far. Everybody's pretty much in line. It's all going to be about who can take these turns. I keep saying this because this is the only way you're able to catch up to those people in front of you. As they take those wider turns, you need to be able to take those shorter turns in these caterpillars and able to gain that momentum. I think the reason why they're taking the wider turns, Croncy, is so they can build up that momentum and not be able to slow down at all. So they're able to hit that top speed faster as they go through that middle of the 890 jump and get to the other side of where the other caterpillars are. But let's see. I feel like between 1st and 2nd place, I believe Aaron the God looks like to be closing that gap a little bit more. So he should be able to hopefully catch up with time and put some pressure right behind Frontier Consolidated Racing for another close race, Croncy.
Yeah, once again, exactly what you said, right? They've come around the caterpillar. Aaron has closed that gap quite a bit, but behind Aaron, Capcom Alpha have also done the same thing. They've been able to close that gap just that little bit extra around there. So we might be in a situation where we're seeing Tint take a little bit too wide of a turn, or possibly they're just losing too much speed on their turns as they come around the caterpillar, because we're seeing some changes here. This is very reminiscent of race number 1, where we saw Salem Frost and Gravity Cat constantly competing for those little bits of distance. We're about 4 laps in, getting very close to the halfway mark. No positions have changed since the 1st place, but a lot of distances have.
Yep, Tint needs to be concentrated. I mean, Crossy, I need to ask this question, because if you got somebody trailing you that close behind you, how would you feel? How much pressure would you feel behind you that if you mess up by any moment, right, your lead is going to get taken? How would you feel in this position?
Yeah, look, especially when you're in a situation where it's nighttime and you can actually see their lights lighting up the back of your vehicle, it's incredibly daunting. I don't know. It's hard to be in this situation because you don't know what you would do, but I'm probably taking a little more risks, which means I'm probably starting to make some more mistakes. But this front pack has been very close, and even closer there. Look at that distance that Aaron just made up. May even possibly overtake within the next lap, and we're only halfway through the race.
I'm telling you, man, these turns and the Caterpillar make so much of a difference between the gaps that these racers are having. So let's see here in this next turn to see how much closer Aaron the God can get in, or even overtake Frontier Consolidated Racing, putting them in that second place spot. But I see Capcom Alpha being very, very steady, being very good. Here comes the takeover, very close next to each other. Denny's going to take over neck on neck right now. You see Infinite Empire, Aaron the God, putting no boost. They need to be able to go top speed. Are they going to back out of this middle right here? Because I wouldn't risk it right now being in second place, Croncy.
Oh! And there we go. They both risked it. I'm not sure who collided there, but one of our racers did collide. They both basically got past the finish line at the same time. So I'd love to hear. I want to know what's happening. It looks like it was Tint. Tint was the one that collided. So Aaron has put himself into first place position, followed very, very closely behind by Circo Worm. And now Team Splen has made up a little bit of that distance because of that collision. So they may actually be able to put themselves in a third place position here.
I told you, Croncy, a lot of these guys think they're going to risk it, man. But the problem is when you risk it, that's what happens. You was in first place, keeping a great lead here, and now you're all the way in third place. Tint, I don't know. I would have let him go a little bit ahead, because I know that the right way to take over would be around those Caterpillars where they won't have that chance. But can we see another photo finish here? I think Capcom Alpha is doing a great job. Circle Worm is staying very, very, he's very concentrated. He's staying straight, and I know he's going to be able to attack here soon and possibly even take first place, because they really want it. They really, really want it, Croncy.
Yeah, very much so. With the taking risks, it's important to remember as well, though, that both Team Infinite Empire and Team Frontier Consolidated Racing are quite low in the leaderboard. They need this win. So in that situation, I am not letting you past. I am not backing out. I'm going as hard as I can. And in that situation, that obviously worked out in Aaron's favor.
Yep, and right now, man, that was, I think overall, that's just tough, right? I would be really biting my nails right now, because you have both Infinite Empire and Triple R Racing right in the middle, right, with 6 points. So 25 points would give them 30 points, which would put them in that top 5, which would put them a lot higher where they want to be at right now. So I mean, I would probably want to take the risk, but I wouldn't take so much of a risk that it would put me in that third place spot, because that's only going to get me 1 point right now, Croncy. But look at Token Tint, Team Splen doing it, and Tint just falling behind to that last place spot. Toke is trying to keep that balance, and Aaron the God continuing to increase the gap here in first place, while Capcom Alpha trailing once again.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you noticed there, but when they went around the Caterpillar most recently, Tint did have a collision with the back of the Caterpillar, which has resulted in what we're seeing right now, where we've got Tuka and Tint right on top of each other. And we're about to see another risky 890J move. You can barely fit 2 in, and they do manage to do it just. So this is a really big fight up the back here, especially if we see things happen with Infinite Empire and Capcom. I do believe that lap count for Team Splen is inaccurate at the moment. I'm fairly sure they have not made their way up to second place position, but they definitely have the ability to get up there.
Yeah. Right now, I believe there was just some mispressed buttons, but they should be totally fine. Right now, with a couple more laps to go for Team Infinite Empire and Team Capcom Alpha, man, these guys are being neck on neck. Let's take a quick look at the overview to see who is currently at the front. But if Capcom Alpha they didn't take over. It's still trailing Aaron the God. So Infinite Empire is still in that first place spot with Circle Rome still trailing. And Tin and Toke, I mean, even though they're trying to fight for that third and fourth place spot, I mean, if they don't catch up soon to Aaron the God or Circle Worm, that's going to put them in the back. Unfortunately, not putting them towards the last two final heats, Pronsi.
Yeah, we're moving in towards the last lap right now. So really the question is, will Circle Worm be able to get past Aaron? And what's going to happen in the back here with this really, really close fight between Tuka and Tint, which has been awesome to see in the second half of the race. And still, Aaron and Circle Worm are right on top of each other as they come around for the last few turns. One mistake, one collision will cost Aaron the win. So keep it a bit safe, but run it. Run it as fast as you can.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to mess up right now. I think for the last two laps, right now, Infinite Empire is going to be confident in taking that lead and just staying ahead. I don't think Capcom Alpha, like I said, it's very hard for this track to be able to pass, but I mean, it is possible. You know, it's not impossible for you, for people to be able to pass. You just need to be able to take those turns properly. But right now, Infinite Empire is going to lock in that first place spot as they go and finish up the race so far, putting Capcom Alpha in the second place spot, Frontier Consolidated Racing in that third place spot, and Team Splen coming out towards the end there. Great competition so far, man. That was a great one to watch. But Infinite Empire and Capcom Alpha taking that top two spots there to put some points on the board for the runner-up finals and the final heat of the night. Croncy.
Yeah, an absolutely fantastic race to watch. The fights that we had, between Tint and Aaron in the first half of the race, when we saw them go for that risky play and it worked out for one of them, that was really, really awesome to see. Watching Tint and Splen towards the end of the race, pretty much neck and neck for 4 solid laps. Really, really cool to see, and really a testament to just how good these races are, that they can keep up right on top of each other a lot of the time, regardless of turns. So that's going to be that one. Aaron going on to the finals. Circle Worm going on to the runner-up finals.
Can you imagine if the STV had that boost, Croncy, man? That would really, really be interesting, because any little boost, regardless if it's a little amount for a few seconds, that could really change the dynamic of any race, because there are some great racers out there that really know how to give that boost management and be able to use it to maximize speed. So, but unfortunately, there's no boost management. I really hope to see that in most of the vehicles that are meant for racing, like the X1 Velocity, the STV is supposed to be one of the fastest ground vehicles in the game. So I really hope that we can get some boost in these, because that's going to change just the dynamic of how racing is. Because I mean, at any moment, somebody could boost right towards the end if they saved it, and right on those neck and neck situations, Croncy, be able to hopefully land the win depending on how they're racing. So, but man, these races are very, very cool. I like that there's a risk factor, and a factor that if you are one to catch up, you need to be able to race perfectly in order to do so.
Yeah, 100%. And in regards to the boost factor, I mean, we got to see in race number 1 and 2, where we use the Cyclone RCs, you can really see the difference your boost management makes in those situations, especially when we were over on Clio on the pipe, right? The boost management when you were on the pipe was a huge, huge factor about whether or not you were going to overtake someone after leaving the pipe. So I 100% agree with you there. I do still like the STV. I think it is probably the most fun and enjoyable racer without boost. But yeah, it'd be nice to see it pop up a little bit more.
Yep, no, I totally agree. And again, I keep talking about the ground changes that they're trying to make. I really hope that it makes, because the STV right now, like when we do the Demo Rally, is not a viable option, because the Cyclone is just a lot bigger. It's a lot meaner. It's it's great for those terrains. It's great for those, those desert terrains, those bumpy terrains. Like the Cyclone still takes over. But in a flat ground like this, in the ice, the STV just eats it up. So, but love seeing the racers. Hopefully they're having fun out there racing against each other. But man, those risks faster down under the 890 jump, you need to be able to, is it worth it, Croncy? You think it was worth it for for Team Frontier Consolidated Racing to take that risk and end up in third place. I don't think it was, Clancy. I think they should have, either backed out or go ahead, Clancy.
Yeah, for those two races in particular, because of where they're positioned in the leaderboard, I don't think they had a choice. I think they had to risk it. If you need that first place position, you've got to. You can't not. We're very late in this series now. You've got to be picking up these wins, and it just unfortunately did not work out for 10. But they are such a good racer that we did see them until they had their second collision. We saw them get up a little bit of distance. They were coming back from it a little bit. Now, next up, heat group number 4, we have Delta Diatus Racing, Kuroda Sanji Sama, and Punch Buggy Herbie, our current number 1 position on the leaderboard.
Hey, I mean, I think this one's pretty stacked in my opinion. You got Sanji Sama, who's a great racer. His favorite vehicle is the Cyclone RC. You got Chick Leak, who's a veteran racer, and now you got Herbie as well, who has been practicing and, winning nonstop here in this year's System 7. So, I know it's only 3 racers because Viva was supposed to be part of this one and they're out, but I think this can still be anybody's race right now. We've seen in Cloud Chasers that pressure, got to Herbie, made that mistake, and dropped him all the way down to that 3rd place spot. So let's see what happens here today, Crunchy.
Yeah, this will be an interesting heat. For Sanji Sama, this is definitely I need to finish first. But for both Herbie and Delta Diatus, they will be pretty happy with a 1st or a 2nd place position. So there's going to be a lot of fighting here. Once again, expect some risks, like we sort of saw in last race. But of course, it is anyone's race this time for sure. But we'll see where it ends them up on the leaderboard, not too far away from now.
Yeah, well, before we start this race, let's talk a little bit about what's going on, man. We got our System 7 merch that's currently available right now. Let's pop it up on the screen, because if you guys want to be able to support Apple Esports, make sure you guys have exclamation mark merch in the chat and grab some merch. Very great this year. We got our topography style merch where you can customize your gamer tag. Let's get the merch back up there. Come on. But yeah, we got our topography style merch here where you can customize the gamer tag. You can wear this out to to Citizen Con, show your support for Apple Esports. Damn, we're gonna be there in a big capacity, so we'll love to see you there. Just grab something, man. All of our merch has all the year, Crunchy, so we'll know exactly what year you bought your merch at, which we love doing. But overall, a great way to support Apple Esports, to continue to help us continuing doing what we're doing for the community.
Yeah, definitely. And 100%, the merch designs have been getting better every year. They've been really, really nice. This is definitely my favorite merch designs for the System 7, sorry, that we've had so far. Need to get myself one of those hoodies before the system ends. I need a hoodie. It's very cold here. It's really, really cold here, Christian.
It's cold. Wait, is it winter right now? It's not winter in Australia, is it?
It might as well be.
That is, oh wow, that's pretty wild. So, all right, well, let's get back to our race. But hey, guys, again, exclamation mark merch in chat. Make sure you guys grab some merch, man. Like I said, all this funds go to giving the racers trophies and in-game items. They also get merch as well when they win, so that helps support all that stuff. So, but thank you all so much, man. Hey, Krause, all I'm gonna say this is we got some really cool stuff coming down the pipeline. People are going to be blown away for what's coming up, not only for towards the end of the year, but also for next year, man. It's going to be an absolute mind-blowing. It's going to be insane. So can't wait to kind of share more with you guys, and, it's going to be great. So here we go. So let's see if the team is ready. We're waiting for our officials right now, but I'm excited for this one, Kronstein. This is going to be some high-level racing. It's only 3 of them, but I think that I don't know, man. I think Herbie just does too well at practicing. I still haven't seen a racer take those perfect corners around that Caterpillar, because you've seen that, they close the gap. They end up taking some sharper turns. I love seeing this race. I think this race worked out well to be a substitute for the BTR course on Orison. Cronstein, what do you think about that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think we've seen a really, really good job from both Aaron and Salem Frost when it comes to their maneuverability around the caterpillars. That of all the participants that we've seen today, they have made the most ground in those situations, which is also going to become very, very interesting when they compete against each other in the finals later. But we only have 3 heats left. We've got this one, and then we're up to runner-up finals and the finals. And it is already looking like an absolutely stacked final. Salem Frost, Ludox, and Aaron, and then one of these 3 competitors. Regardless of who that is, I don't think we've had a more competitive top 4 in any heat event so far.
Nope. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, man. The finals for Cloud Chasers, that was a pretty insane race. That one was a banger, in my opinion, where we had Circle Worm. We had, we had Herbie there, Ludox. That one was pretty stacked. And these guys raced to perfection almost until the end. But, it's already stacked, man. Like I said, you can't count on Sky or Alpha anytime. Salem Frost, they are veterans. They know what they're doing as well. So I'm just looking forward to it all. I'm really am.
Yeah, me too. Hopefully they're getting ready soon. We can see we've got our 3 competitors there. And then once again, for us, it looks like they either have different lights on or different skins on, which is very appreciative from a commentator's standpoint, so we can identify you guys. So thank you very much.
I know. It makes it a lot easier. But hey, I reach out to some of the racers like, hey, if y'all need some skins, man, I have some. So I give a couple of racers some skins. So I'm glad to see some of them, going to use here. So, and here we go. I think we're about ready to go right now, Croncy. I think for heat group number 4, again, we have Delta Dietis Racing, Team Kuroda Racing Sanji, and then we got Team Punch Buggy, where Herbie, your current leaderboard, first place is currently standing. So, I don't know, man. This one makes me a little bit nervous because, this is all on the line for Herbie right now. So he, it's a lot easier because you don't have all 4 racers, but still, he could end up not a great spot. So yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, it looks like we are, because we've been around for a little bit. Looks like we've got a medical Pisces that's going to be helping some of our contestants so that they don't end up, dying in the middle of the race, which is awesome. Love to see it. We've got our support craft out. We're even getting the bottles of water out of the links. I love to see it. Did you know it has a champagne bottle, Crucian? It has a champagne bottle.
Hey, man, it's RSI. It's luxury. So while we wait for the race to go, then we'll go over a little bit of some, kind of give some shout out to our sponsors here, man. So obviously our presenting sponsor, Game Glass. Big shout outs to them. They've been supporting us for over 3 years now. So big thank you to Game Glass for really sponsoring the Atmo Esports altogether. But right now I think Game Glass has a pretty awesome scavenger hunt going right now, Croncy. So you can go over to I believe is Game Glass at Game Glass GG on Twitter, and they have a scavenger hunt giveaway where you can win a Mirai Fury, a Lynx Rover, and a couple of joysticks from, I believe it's VKB. I'm not 100% sure. I would say if you guys want to check that out, please go over to Game Glass's Twitter, and if you guys want to check out Game Glass overall, ! Game Glass in chat, you guys can check it out. They turn pretty much a tablet or phone into touchscreen controls for like Star Citizen, because we have about how many keybinds we have in this game, Croncy? 10 bajillion?
I swear they add 20 every patch. There's a lot.
I know it's a lot. So you can actually use Game Glass to turn all tablets and stuff that you probably don't use it to touchscreen controls, and it works well. So big shout out to Game Glass. And now we have Gamer Advantage, man. I've been using these guys for like 5 years, man. I cannot leave my house without my glasses. If you guys want to support Atmo Esports, you guys can use code Atmo, save 15%. Make sure that you guys take care of your eyes. See, Croncy, why are you not taking care of your eyes, man?
Just have good eyesight. It's just
okay, that works. I mean, you probably got lights everywhere, Croncy. You got like 13 screens as a streamer. Hey, you got to protect your eyes, man. Yep. So, but no, they've been great, man. It really makes a difference. So, big shout outs to them. And then obviously our newest sponsor. By the way, Croncy, we got some really cool stuff coming down the pipeline. Our newest sponsor, CLX, as well, coming on this year, not only supporting the community, but Like they also do giveaways for PCs every month. They started doing them globally. So, you know, you want to grab a free PC, go join their giveaway, man. Go check them out at CLX Gaming on Twitter. So, and if you're in the market for a PC, we do have a little, you know, code down in the panels where you guys can click and hopefully save 3%. Hey, we enrich, man. Saving 3% is better than saving no %. So that's what I say. So
yeah,
let's get back to our races, man.
Can go towards, you know, the Mariah Fury. Get yourself a Mariah Fury.
Exactly my point, man. Exactly. By the way, talking about them, I totally forgot to talk about this, Croncy. Only $55 for the Mariah Fury. That kind of surprised me, to be honest.
Yeah, it was definitely cheaper than I expected. Yeah, I had a little like channel point, like a guess thing that was happening on my channel at the time, and the majority of people thought it was going to be like $80. So it was actually the fact that it was that cheap. Definitely surprising for a lot of people. A nice little LTI token as well if you just want to upgrade it to something else later.
LTI token, a very good racing ship now that people can use for racing, taking off the guns, because I mean some of the racing ships like the M50 or the Razor are actually a lot more expensive. So, you know, you have a great maneuverability with the Mariah Fury. So if you want to start doing some, you know, some racing, XGR does a great job probably, you know, bringing on the, like, you know, the Mariah Fury out for racing. But I think for $55, that is a not bad deal to have a, you know, that racing ship that you can use. But the only problem is, again, no quantum drive, so you have to transport it to these locations like the Snake Pit to race, Yordar Valley, all that good stuff, where, you know, that's the only bummer that I see, Croncy.
Well, the advantage there, you mentioned Snake Pit, it can be spawned at the small ground vehicle stations. So you can actually spawn it at Snake Pit. And I do believe there's one near Yordar Valley as well. Looks like our heat is ready to go, guys. We are getting heat number 4 underway. 3 heats left. This determines who is our last members of the runner-ups and the finals.
All right, Croncy, let's get this one underway. Right now, I'm going to start this countdown. Man, I am so excited for this one, guys. Again, heat group number 4 is going to be Cheek Leak, Saji-sama, and Herbie fighting it out to see who moves on to the runner-up and the finals here in race number 5 presented by Game Glass. So, without further ado, all right, racers, on my go. All right, let's keep this clean. No bumping. I'm just kidding. All right. On my go in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Croncy, take it away.
So as we leave, let's just take a look. So on the left, I believe, was Herbie. The right was Sanji-sama, I'm fairly sure. And the middle was Check Leak, but they've already made their way towards the 890J. Not much risk being taken. We saw a lot of changes in the positions there. So we already looks like we have Kuroda Racing in the front, Delta Dietis in second, and Punch Buggy in third, but everyone right on top of each other. And with these races, it's probably going to stay that way for most of it. We're going to see, we already just did, we're going to see a lot of these small changes in positions, and we might have a fight going through lap 1 under the 890J. Will we see both of them survive? Is someone going to get punished?
No, smooth, right like through there, Croncy. That is so tough right there, man. You were butt clenching at that moment. Both racers staying very close to each other right now. And I just see Kuroda Saji right now racing to his content. Here comes Punch Buggy taking the inside, passing 2 people here. Kuroda Racing falling behind. Herbie taking that sharp turn, taking the lead, moving forward, going through the middle of the 890. They need to consolidate here. What a race so far, Croncy.
Yeah, another really, really risky fight there once again with 2 of our racers, but they're able to get on through. This is so far the closest race that we've had at the beginning. This is crazy to see. So it looks like we've got Delta in. Oh, and there we go. We've got a collision, I believe, by Kuroda Racing there. So they're going to get pushed out of this pack, but we still have a very, very tight fight here between Delta and Punch Buggy. And we're going to see probably another takeover, probably followed by another takeover. These guys are relentless.
This is so tough right now because I'm going to tell you right now, Delta Dietis Racing Space Tech won the last race of Cloud Chasers. Can they pull this off again? But you can see Herbie doing a great job at taking the inside. He's going to take the inside again here, be able to catch up, be able to overtake, and there he goes again. These are the perfect turns that I'm talking about, Kroncy. If he can continue doing this, he's going to be able to increase that gap over and over. If I was Delta Didus, I would not risk it right now, but you can see Herbie pulling up a little bit ahead in front of Cheek Leak right now. These are the turns that I'm talking about, and Herbie is pulling them off, Kroncy.
Yeah, 100%. And like, it is sort of this situation of, we've seen some of these turns, you know, while one person like Herbie has been able to take really tightly, the other person doesn't. But then we go to the next Caterpillar and it's the exact opposite situation. It's really about, if you can get it just barely perfectly at this distance, you're going to get that takeover. We're probably about to see it once again here. We did see Herbie take this very, very tight last time, especially coming out of the Caterpillar back towards the 890J. So we'll see if that happens once again, or if we see Delta come in a little bit tighter, and they do. So they actually made up a little bit of ground there, and they might be able to catch up after the next Caterpillar. Corona Races, Sanji, just about to go through that back Caterpillar there. A little bit of ground to make up.
They need to be careful, because I saw how close he was to that front end weapon of the Caterpillar there, Kroncy. That was very scary, because if he hits that, there's going to be able to leave room for Sanji-sama to come up. It's unfortunate that Sanji-sama, you know, bumped the back of the Caterpillar there, leaving him behind. But here comes these sharp turns, and they are neck on neck this entire time. But that's going to put pressure on Punch Buggy, right? On Team Punch Buggy, because he needs to be able to race perfect and take those turns. But right now, he's not taking those turns like he was before, where he was taking them sharp enough to be able to pass. But look at that, how close they are. This is going to be a race to watch till the end, Kroncy. This is going to be a close one.
It already is. This is insane to watch. I think the biggest thing here is we're not really seeing many errors. We're just seeing how amazing these guys are at these vehicles and at this track, where the very, very slightest change in your speed, the very, very slightest change in your turn coming out of the Caterpillar is making, you know, half a second difference. And we've just seen there, you know, we just saw 1 point or just under 1 second difference between Punch Buggy and Delta Didus. And I don't think it's going to get much longer than that. These guys really are staying right on top of each other. Right there, Delta just made up a little bit of distance from when they first entered that Caterpillar.
Right now, Kroncy, honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. When I saw Herbie taking over Delta Didus after a couple laps, I just think that there's just a different level of a beast in Herbie, man. Like, he knows exactly what to do right now. He's just being safe and taking the turns a little bit wider and letting his opponents make those mistakes. But here's what I need. I need Delta Didus to concentrate and be able to bring that back, because when they won last week, or when they was in race number 4, Kroncy, if they can win again, that's going to put them in such a great spot. It's going to bump down Herbie to be in that, you know, to fight for that 5th to 8th place spot. But if Delta Didus wants to make the difference now, this is the moment. This is Cheek Leak's moment to be able to close the gap and hopefully win this heat group number 4.
Yeah, when we were talking about, you know, which teams right now sort of have the ability to push past Herbie, Delta Didus were one of those teams. This is one that they really, really want. They don't necessarily care about as much about coming first as they care about beating Herbie in this situation, because, you know, a second place position today would still put them within striking distance of first place position. Now, if Herbie's able to hold this one off, and we've seen about 4 laps without a takeover, if Herbie's able to pull this one off, get into the top 4 and win, that's our first place winner. So this is absolutely huge for Herbie. They can then take a load off for the next two races. So Delta, let's make it interesting. I want you to risk it. Let's see if you can get past. You've got some laps left. We're all cheering for you.
Hey, he can't be able to make those mistakes, Kroncy. They need to be able to concentrate, but I think Cheek Leak is locked in, right? He's doing great. Look at those turns. Yep. A little bit wider than normal, but I mean, he's doing a great job for his team, Delta Didus. This is going to be a little bit risky overall, but I love this race. I love how they're doing. Can we see another, you know, Skyr Alpha, Amrock Spank finish here towards the end? That's what I would love to see. But again, I keep telling you, those first few turns from Herbie were really, really well. were really, really perfect. And Saji-sama, unfortunately, out of the race, is not able to catch up at all, man. I feel so bad. I feel so bad because Saji-sama, he had it right there until he bumped the back of that Caterpillar, Croncy. That's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, the first like 2.5 laps, right? We had all three races right on top of each other, constantly overtaking. A little bit of a collision was unfortunate, and now that is unfortunately Sanji out of the race today. So it's looking like these will be both our runner-up finals and finals winners. But like we saw in the first race, it's not even remotely over. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Oh,
no,
almost
man.
able to get the takeover, slams into the back of Herbie and loses all of the work that they just made. That is devastating.
That is tough, man. That is not what you want to see. That I feel like that really just gave Herbie a big push and a big boost. And that's, I mean, it took a lot of laps for him to get right behind them. So here's what's going to happen. Either somebody makes a mistake or this is going to be, Herbie heading to the finals of this race number 5 here for the System 7, man. That's a tough position to be in, Croncy. Getting that bump and giving him that boost, that is tough.
It definitely is, though I will mention the distance that they had after the collision was about twice the distance that they're currently at. So Delta Dietis, even though, really unfortunate they almost had that takeover, is already back in it, making that distance back up. We're in the last 2 laps of this race. And there we go. Once again, look at how much distance Delta is making up. There's only a few more turns left, only a few more opportunities. Herbie has to run this absolutely perfectly to guarantee this win, but Delta is not going to let them have it.
Wow, this is so close here. Here we go. Delta Dietis, you need to putting that wind and cut these corners as quickly as you can. Do not make a mistake with Herbie's vehicle right there. They need to take a little bit wide angle with a couple more laps left. There's another gap closed that is getting a lot closer here. Will Cheek League be able to do the impossible and take over Team Punch Buggy right now? Croncy, this is coming neck on neck to the last moments. Let's see what happens here. Remember, this next Caterpillar coming up has no debris around it. This is his moment to be able to close the gap as much as he can he needs to be perfect. He can't make that mistake. Herbie going a wider distance. Here comes Delta Dietis right behind him. This is getting really, really nerve-wracking right now, Croncy.
Yeah, one more Caterpillar for these guys to turn and then meet at the 890J. We very much may have an exact same situation that we saw in the first race. These guys are right on top of each other. Delta, for the last 4 or 5 laps, has not let up at all, has been closing that gap over and over and over again. Had a collision, still closed on that gap. They're going into their final turn, heading towards the 890J. A nice little cut there from Delta. They are still a little bit too far behind. Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to be able to make that one up there. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be Herbie winning heat group number 4 and Delta Dietis with an absolutely amazing performance getting second place for that one.
Man, I really wanted Cheek League to come in and be able to put the gas. I think towards that last lap, he just left too much of a wide turn there, and that was completely unfortunate. But I got to give it to Herbie, man. He did a great job staying composed, being able to pass, Delta Dietis. This guy is a monster of a racer, and his level of racing overall with just some of these vehicles is really high. I'm not going to say Delta Dietis didn't do their best. They were really closing that gap as well. But, man, to see Herbie take over, bring it, close the gap, increase the gap is insane to see, man. So congrats to him on moving on to the finals where Delta Dietis moves up to the runner-up finals. So let's take a look at our runner-up finals and our finals here. But we got runner-up finals right now. Amrox Fang with Gravity Cat. We have Far Out with Thorin, Capcom Alpha with Circle Worm, and Delta Dietis, Cheek League putting them in that last spot. So what do you think about runner-up finals so far, Croncy?
So 2 really important things in the runner-up finals is both Gravity Cat and Check League were really, really aggressive towards the end of the race. We saw in that first race, the first heat between Gravity Cat and Salem Frost, we had that big fight, that awesome ending finish. And then just then in that heat with Check League, watching them just close in over and over and over again in these laps. So it's going to be really interesting watching them too. Thoron and Circo Worm with some absolutely amazing performances in their races as well, with a little bit showing how that they are able to maximize or capitalize on mistakes that their opponents have made. So this is going to be a really, really interesting runner-up finals and finals. It is really stacked. I think this might be my favorite race so far of this year, Christian.
Really, man. I think for this race overall, I think you don't have too much room for error as to where Cloud Chasers gave you more room for error because there were more turns. You were dealing with the light post. So this one's a little bit more straight, right? This one's a little bit more like you need to race to perfection in order to catch up. You need to be able to take these corners in order to catch up. So, but, you know, like you said, it is a very great race to watch. I think it's very, very well done. I think it's, you know, I think we wanted to do it in the garage of Microtech, but I think this worked out a lot better for the racers because they really need to be at their top of the game in order to get those overtakes.
Yeah, it's certainly been a race that has really shown like the very minute differences in skill, because all of these guys are insanely good competitors. But, you know, there's slight differences in, well, how are you taking that turn around that Caterpillar? Like, are you taking it literal degrees earlier than other races? And how much is that changing? So I really like these kind of races. I've loved the Nox race in the past. It's and the PTV races that we did in the garage in the past for a similar reason. It's such a good showing of how good these guys are.
Yep, we're just waiting for Chick League to grab a new STV so that way there is no damage on that STV and he's able to come with a brand new fresh one. So we will see him coming up very, very soon. And then we're going to start the runner-up finals good to go. But, man, it's been a great race so far. So, Kroncy, let's talk about the finals. We have Skyer Alpha, Salem Frost, who really showcased and really overtook Amrox Fang there at the last moment in heat group number 1. And we got Blackstocks with Ludox, who really wanted that as well. We got Infinite Empire with Aaron the God, and then we got Herbie with Punch Buggy. These are all some incredible races for the finals. What are your predictions for the finals coming up here soon?
So a couple of the races we got to see in some incredibly competitive environments, particularly Aaron and Salem Frost, where we had these really, really aggressive fights, as well as, you know, we didn't have as too many issues with collisions and that sort of thing. So I'm actually really interested to see how Ludox and Herbie are going to fare in the finals, because, you know, we had some collisions. They still put on an amazing show, but they didn't necessarily have to worry about player number 3, player number 4. As I said at the beginning of the day, you know, Aaron was my original favorite to win the System 7 this year, and I'm glad that we finally get to see Aaron's skills put to use. So that's going to be an interesting one to watch.
I mean, I feel, I'm not going to say Aaron got lucky, but it could have been him, you know, getting banged up and you know, Tint taking his spot at any moment if they didn't risk it. So, you know, hope to see that more of that skill comes out during this last finals, because it's going to be very, very risky. So, leaderboard is shaping up to look very, very well. Again, we're going to have the leaderboard updates towards the end of the race, and we should have Chick League coming up here in a few seconds. We're going to take a quick, probably 2 to 3 minute break, and we will be right back here very soon. Thank you guys so much at home that are watching the System 7 race number 5 presented by Game Glass. We appreciate your support, guys. We'll be right back.
Head tracking adds so much to immersion in supported first-person games. When you try it, you're going to see why it makes so much sense. It's been created to seamlessly let you look where you want to, and with Tobii Eye Tracker 5, everything just works. Tobii has been the go-to name for head and eye tracking, and over time, their product has evolved. Their newest implementation has the most simplified setup because they did all the work for you. Offering both head and eye tracking, Tobii is able to track precisely through glasses or contacts, and once calibrated, it will never lose its center. The head tracking solution that integrates at the bottom of a flat or curved monitor, look at what you want to target sooner, look at what you want to lock your missile to, look at where you want to bomb, look in the direction that your ship is traveling to get the edge, look around and get the advantage. Just look and let Tobii Eye Tracker 5 do the rest in Star Citizen and a host of other simulation titles. It's so natural that you forget it's there.
Mayday, Mayday, this is Red Wind, FR9183, requesting immediate support. I'm under fire from an unknown number of hostiles. Sending my location now.
HQ, strike team. Contract assigned.
HQ, strike team, roger. Proceeding to target. Red Wind, Foxtrot, Romeo, 9-1-8-3, Walker strike team on site for assistance. HQ, strike team, contract fulfilled, ready for tasking.
Atmo Esports operates a little differently. Born from emergent community events like the Damo Rally, the natural progression was to create esports events within an emergent environment and provide tournaments for esports teams in a unique way.
All right, here we go.
Every step you can count on me. Every step you can follow.
Whoa! Oh, baby, look at this race starting, guys. Let's go.
Atmo volunteers create events within massive sandbox gaming environments, and we work with talented community gamers to supply supporting roles such as camera crew, shoutcasters, event organizers, and so much more. Our team is a group of passionate professionals from all over the world, all with gaming in their veins. We operate purely online, and everything we do is created collaboratively.
It's gonna change the way we play the game.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Your eyes are the gateway to your brain. It's time to start getting serious about protecting them. Reinforcements have arrived. Introducing Gamer Advantage, a gaming wellness company rooted in science. Patented, clinically proven, and trusted by thousands of people. Our glasses are designed to fit comfortably under a headset, look amazing, and offer protection indoors and out. Our lens will help you sleep better, which means feel better and perform better. There's no color distortion, and they are available in prescription. Internal protection starts with eye candy, an eye health, immune boost, and antioxidant formula. Fog Away, the #1 selling anti-fog spray for eyewear. Gamer Advantage. Gaming wellness reimagined.
All right, well, while we catch up on some replays here, we are waiting for our runner-up finals to be ready to go. And I think, Kronsky, once we get the runner-up finals, we should have the finals up ready to go here soon. But, man, it's been a great day of racing so far. We had some great replays, a lot of close calls, some great endings to heat group number 1. Tell me how you're feeling about this race and, like what's coming up for the runner-up finals. Who you think is going to win that one and who you think is going to win the finals today, Kronsky?
So first of all, it's been really nice to have two heats, two heat-based runs, basically, back to back with the STVs, because it's really shown us what this vehicle can do and what these competitors can do with it. So first off, absolutely been loving seeing that. And then, yeah, we've got the runner-up finals coming up in a moment. We've got Amarex Fang with Gravity Cat. For Far Out, we've got Thorin. For Capcom Alpha, we've got Circumworm. And for Delta Dietus Racing, we've got Checked Leak. These guys showed some absolute amazing skills in our initial heats. So I can't really say where I think this one's going to go. Checked Leak, obviously, just then we saw with Herbie, the two of them absolutely crushing it for the majority of the race. A huge back and forth between them, and Checked Leak constantly trying to just gain that little bit of distance back. So if they can repeat that sort of thing and just maintain a lead of some sort, they're going to be doing absolutely fantastic in the runner-up finals. The finals that we have coming on just afterwards as well are honestly just as amazing. Having Salem, Frost, Ludox, Aaron, and Herbie. Honestly, in my opinion, 4 of the best wheeled races that we do have out of S16. That's going to be huge. It's going to be a really, really interesting one to watch. I think Aaron and Salem Frost have the most to gain from these finals. These guys are a little bit lower on the leaderboard. If they can secure themselves a first or even second place position here, they're going to put themselves in contention for top 3 as we approach race number 6 and 7 in the coming weeks. So lots of stuff is going to change around here, which is great to see. The leaderboard is not going to be super static, and we very well could, if we see Herbie get that first place position, possibly even crown a winner today.
Yep, I think, totally agree here. Looking forward to, seeing these last 2 heats come up. I believe the runner-up finals is good to go. Let's get back to our cameras right now. But I just want to say thank you to all that are watching at home, that are watching either on YouTube, either watching on Kick, and those of you guys, watching on Twitch as well. Appreciate you guys so much. But I believe we're almost ready to go. Shout out to the staff as well that's putting on this race today. Shout out to our officials. Shout out to our camera crew. Shout outs to our security as well. Big shout outs to Walker the Sigma. But hey, Kronsy, tell me, you ready to go?
I am ready as I'll ever be. Let's get it going.
Oh baby, let's get it here. So we're gonna get a countdown going here for our racers, and let's get the runner-up finals ready to start it, chat. Hey, I'm gonna ask one more time. Let's get some hype in the channel for those of you that are ready to see the runner-up finals and who's gonna take it. I want you guys to cheer on your favorite racer and showing some love in chat. So very, very excited to go here very, very soon. Okay, we're in a holding pattern right now, but it's okay. We should be able to get ready to go here in a second.
Yeah, let's see if we can hear from people. Who do you think is going to take up the runner-up finals? Will it be Gravity Cat from Amarok's Fang, Thorin from Far Out, Circle from Capcom Alpha, or Checked Leak from Delta Diatus? It is probably as close as you could get to 25%, 25% chance to win as you could.
Yep, very, very excited. I think there's a quick issue that they're trying to fix right now, but we should be able to start here. I think, Capcom Alpha, man, always in a high level of racing. I feel like they're going to be that team that takes this because I feel like it's not about them coming up short. It's just they're always in that top spot. So I feel like, this is going to be, Capcom Alpha's time to shine, in my opinion. So it seems like the countdown is ready to go, Kroncy. So let's get this runner-up finals ready to go. All right, here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, on my go in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Runner-up finals here of race number 5 of the System 7 is underway. Kroncy, on you.
As we can see, we're off on the go. So we already have 2 little sections here, 2 little, not teams, groups. That's the word. I don't know why I can't think of words. I'm too excited to watch the race. We already have 2 little groups forming and no collisions in the first lap. There was a little bit of distance between everyone, but that doesn't mean we're not going to see any overtakes. As we saw right there, whoever was in that last sort of section position got past, but not for long. This is very reminiscent of the last race where we just saw, where everyone's kind of right on top of each other, and we are going to see a little bit of a risky maneuver here. Oh! Oh! What?
Wow, what is happening right now? They went straight into the Lynx Rovers and just tumbled away, increasing the lap here. I believe if this is Amarok's Fang, but taking too much of a white turn, is not going to take that overtake here from Delta Diatus. Take it on, but man, that was a juggle. Now all the Rovers are in place. This is going to be a tough one, but here we go. We got Cheeky Leak in first place, Gravity Cat from Amarok's Fang in second place, Circle Roam and Thorum, they're still alive, Kroncy, in that 3rd and 4th place spot right now. Man, That was like a bowling ball coming in there.
Yeah, that was absolutely insane, and it was. I don't know what they were trying to risk there. Maybe they were in a situation where someone was maybe trying to push them out of a certain position, but it's obviously really punishing for both Serco and Thorin. Look how much further behind they are from GreyCat and Cherkleek, who are still in that fight for first place. A very, very close fight. That was an extremely interesting crash.
Man, that was tough. And by the way, just to kind of give you a little bit of a hint here, right? Amarok's Fang and Delta Dietis are currently holding that third and fourth place spot. So for Delta Dietis to get those extra points on top of Amarok's Fang is going to be important. Even though if it's 2 points, those 2 points can make up the big difference in the next 2 races for Delta Dietis to take a podium spot in the upcoming races, Crunchy. So this is definitely a spot where they need to get on top, but Delta Dietis holding on for their lives and trying to race perfectly so they are able to put the maximum points they can on the board in these runner-up finals, Crunchy.
Yeah, look how close they are staying on their competitor, right on top of them. This is exactly where we have the situation where if you are taking that slightly tighter turn around the Caterpillar, you can make up that difference. And we've seen it over and over again today. So watch as they come through. Look, you take that slightly in line, almost crash into the Caterpillar, but you're able to get that overtake. It's absolutely huge when you're in this situation. And in my opinion, when you are this close, you can kind of guess how tight you need to take it in order to get that overtake without risking a collision. So it's really hard to tell who actually has the sort of advantage there when you come out of these turns.
Yeah, it's very tough. And also you can see right in front of the Caterpillar that the guns are sticking out a little bit more. Oh, no, with the spin out there. Wait, was that Amarok's Fang that just got passed or Delta Dietis?
That
no,
was, I
Amarok's
believe,
Fang is still in the lead.
I think actually collided with GreyCat. Cherkleek collided with GreyCat as they were doing the overtake around the Caterpillar, but they were sort of swapping in and out. They may not have known 100% where everyone was positioned, and so it just did not work. So now Cherkleek has fallen back quite a bit, and now Circoworm has an opportunity to get back into that second place position after that first lap collision.
Yeah, that was a really tough situation there for Delta Dietis taking up that lead. But I mean, we've seen him compete versus Herbie and Team Punch Buggy in the last heat, heat group number 4. So I think Delta Dietis, if they want to really make up that gap, they're gonna need to put some speed, some pedal to the metal here in race number 5. But that's gonna be tough overall because that's gonna leave a big gap here for GreyCat to continue increasing. What is going on right now? You're just seeing debris flying everywhere. That is crazy. Dude, this thing is going insane right now, Crossy.
Yeah, so this is a really, really big developments. Genuinely, we're seeing if Amarok's Fang are able to maintain this lead, they are currently, before the results of today, third on the leaderboard. So if they're able to pick up a 5th place position, that's going to give them a really, really good shot to maintain, that top 3 spot over the course of the next couple of races. As we move down, we've got Delta Dietis, right? They're still in 2nd place position with Cherkleek. They're at 34 points. They have a lot more ground to cover. And then as we get to Catcom and Far Out, these guys need that top place position if they want to be staying in this competition for that top 3. So we'll see what happens. There's already been a lot of developments. We've seen collisions. We've seen overtakes. It's definitely anyone's game in this situation, but there's a couple of players that definitely want it more than others.
Yep, I feel you on that one. And Amarok's Fang continuing to increase that lead as much as they can. And I see Capcom Alpha really gaining right behind, Delta Dietis. And again, man, being that close to somebody, it's a lot of pressure on you because a little bump like that can really put you in that position where you either gain a massive lead or that can put you, towards the end of the race. So, big curves there. Wait, no, I don't think that was a pass. Delta Dietis doing a great job in those turns. And there goes that increased gap between Delta Daidas and Capcom Alpha so far. So there's just so many different scenarios that, that can happen between this 5th and 8th place that can either skyrocket people to get closer to the top to the top 3, or have them be a lot further away. So, Delta Daidas, I think they're doing a great job to keep composure and stay on track to that 2nd place spot. So, Kranzi, I'll be honest with you, I don't think Amarok's Fang is going to make any mistakes, and I think they're going to end up taking that 1st place.
That's what we want to see for sure. And in the completion of that 6th lap, we saw Amarok's Fang about 4 seconds ahead of Delta, but Delta and Capcom right on top of each other. So that 2nd place is still incredibly up for contention. And these are 2 racers who have been showing a lot of risk. They've been able to do a lot of catch up, like we saw in the final of the regular heats. So I think we're going to see a little bit of back and forth there for these last couple of laps, but you have to make a move now. We're 7 minutes in. Amarok's Fang just passed for lap number 8. They have extended their lead by about a second. If you are going to get past Delta, well, they're about to do it. There's 800 milliseconds, almost 750 milliseconds between Circle Worm and Czech League.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to have to be these turns. Look how big of a wide turn Circle Worm has taken. I feel like Delta Daidas is taking the smoother turns out of both teams here. So I think they can continue to manage, that lead pretty well here. But Amarok's Fang, they're not going to be able to, to catch up to them. With a couple more laps to go, I believe they can solidify another 8 points. Now, Blackhawks is in the finals, and Blackhawks is in 2nd place. So Amarok's Fang need to maximize as much points as they can if they want to be able to get to that 2nd place spot in these next 2 races coming up. We have River Canyon Chaos and we have Lorville Loops, some of the 2 best races out there. So, looking forward to see what these guys can do, because remember, we're not in ground vehicles anymore. We're going to a Dragonfly. And then for the last race, Kranzi, we're going to multiple vehicles that they have to master in order to get that top spot in the Lorville Loop. So it's going to be interesting moving forward after this.
Yeah, everything changes in the next 2 races, which is really good because it sort of shakes things up a bit. Once again, as they complete lap number 8 there, Delta and Capcom still right on top of each other. I mean, look at these guys. They are waiting for their opportunity to get past. One solid Caterpillar turn is going to do it. They're basically wheel to wheel there. Actually lost a little bit of that ground as they collided and had to back off, because you also don't want to lose that lead. We've seen that happen today as well. Players being really, really close to each other, going a little bit risky, and then losing it all. So as they come around for lap number 9.
Oh, look at the overtake right now. Circle Worm going out. Cheek Leak a little bit out. Circle Worm overtaking Cheek Leak from Delta Daidas and taking that 2nd place spot. I believe that Circle Worm did it. He wants that 2nd place spot, is putting Cheek Leak in the back right now. That was a magnificent overtake right there by Capcom Alpha, getting that 2nd place spot. We don't believe they can take Amarok's Fang. Amarok's Fang doing a great job, but can Capcom Alpha stay on track to take 2nd place here today for race number 5 here, presented by Game Glass? This is looking deadly here for Team Delta Daidas Racing, Kranzi.
Yeah, we are at the last half of the second last race of the day. The last half of the last lap of the second last race of the day. This is where it's going to come down. Will Delta be able to get that distance back as they come around the Caterpillar? It's the only real place they're going to be able to make the difference. There's a little bit of ground gained there, but I think Circle Worm is going to push this one out for Capcom Alpha, which means we are going to see Amarok's Fang coming in 1st place in the runner-up finals. 2nd place is going to be Circle Worm from Capcom Alpha, followed by our good friend Czech League from Delta Daidas, and then Thorin is going to be finishing up at the end. So well done there, guys. Amarok's Fang pulling that one out.
Oh. Man, that's so tough right there towards lap number 9, where you see Capcom Alpha taking over Delta Daidas, man. He just went a little bit too wide. The only time he went too wide on those turns, Kranzi, here comes Capcom Alpha, Circle Worm. He snooped in, took that lead into 2nd place. He goes, landing him 6 points at least, because he was only going to get 4. Now his 6 is it can put him in a good spot. But Amarok's Fang, by them getting that fifth place spot right now, landing 8 points, is only going to keep increasing that gap from Delta Daidas for them not to be able to catch up for that 3rd place spot. So Very interesting overall, man. This was some good racing. You know, a real bump over here for Far Out Croncy, but man, I wanted to see Delta Dietis keep that lead, but that one mistake really put him behind. Way too behind.
Yeah, just one overtake from one turn, right? Like they were on top of each other for so long, neither player willing to make a mistake. And then just one sharper turn gets you there. So absolutely huge. And speaking on Amarok's Fang, that'll put them on quite a few points. So they are going to probably solidify themselves within the top 3 for now. Still lots of races to go, obviously, but a huge result for them. You've got to be pretty happy with how that's gone.
Yep, I need to give a shout out to all these competitors for coming out, racing to their best of their ability, man. Regardless of where they're at on the leaderboard, I really appreciate it, man. It shows them how much they care, and obviously we all are going through the challenges of the game, but I mean, everybody's coming up and showing, you know, how well they can race and how well of a show they can put on. So shout out to all their competitors. Again, I say this all the time, for being resilient and for coming and putting on an incredible show here for, you know, for the community, man, because this is some incredible racing today. I'm loving this track because it just makes it hard for people to just, you have to be perfect, man. And we haven't seen that yet, you know? So it's crazy, man, but I'm excited for this finals coming up, Croncy.
Yeah, speaking of the finals, I have a bit of an interesting stat for you. So assuming if Herbie is able to pull this one out, and it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. If Herbie's able to pull this one out, and then both attends and completes the next 2 races, it is possible. I don't really want to jinx it, but we could possibly have our first racer with 100 points.
What do you mean 100 points?
On the leaderboard. If Herbie is able to take this one down and get first place position,
yes,
that will put Herbie at 98 points, and then there's 2 races left. So this is a really big deal for Herbie, but it's also an extremely big deal for both Aaron the God and Salem Frost. These guys really need to be getting towards the top of the leaderboard, and this is their opportunity to do it, and these are the races to do it.
Yeah, I for a second thought you meant, like, you know, the first racer that get 100 points, because we've seen, you know, people get 100 points in the previous seasons. But you are right, that's going to be our first racer to hit that 100-point mark. And it's funny because the level of competition is so high that I feel like Herbie might be the only one to hit 100 points this season, which is, in my opinion, it's a wild thing to say. Like, you know, in the past seasons, we've seen a couple, I would say 2 or 3, even, you know, about 2 or 3 racers actually hit that 100-point mark. So to only see one, that means the higher, you know, the competition is just getting higher and higher every single season. And I think that next year, if we get some better server stability, is when we're going to see even the best competition yet, Croncy. It's going to be great.
Yeah, definitely. So as we go into the finals, guys, these are the races for you to look out for. So for Sire Alpha, we've got Salem Frost. Blackhawks, we've got Ludox. Infinite Empire, we've got Aaron the God. And for Punch Buggy, we have Herbie. This is going to be a really good one to watch. So you can also see there on the left side, we've got Herbie. We've got, I think Aaron is just next to Herbie, but I'm not sure we're seeing a marker for them, but that's okay. And then Salem Frost and Ludox. So when we first start off, make sure you're looking out for whoever you think is going to win it. Where do you think this is going to go, Crucian? Who do you think's taking it?
For right now, I want to give all my energy here to Sky Alpha. I want to see them come out of the depths of the abyss in 12th place of the leaderboard. I want to see them rise to the occasion. I want to see them back on top where I feel like they should be. They come in every single event and really show what they can do. They're veterans, and I want them to come out again, out of the depths, up to that top, you know, that top 8 spot. And hopefully these next 2 racers is going to give them that confidence to come out and continue practicing the River Canyon Chaos and the new Lorville loop, you know, where Lorville is completely brand new in 319, to come out swinging for that top 3 spot. I would love to see them on the podium, but it's going to take a lot of dedication. It's going to take a lot of time for them to put in if they will really want it this season, Croncy.
Fair enough. I think myself, Aaron the God, I've been rooting for him all day, and he has not disappointed. So I'm really hoping that he can pull this one off, and similar to Sire Alpha, get up in those top 8 positions of the leaderboard for the future races. But you have to compete with Ludox and Herbie. These guys have been really, really consistent this season. They're in a vehicle that they've shown they have a lot of skill in, so it is not going to be a walk in the park.
Well, Crunchy, the finals are ready. Let's get some hype in all of the chats. If you're watching at home, I don't know. If you're at home, pop some popcorn, do some whistles, whatever you got to do. It doesn't matter. Let's get some hype. Let's get the finals started, because I am pumped and ready to go, Crunchy. So let's get this countdown underway. The final race of race number 5 for the System 7 presented by Game Glass is now here. All right. All right, racers, on my go. All right, let's get hyped up here for the finals in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Here we go. The finals of race number 5 is underway. Crunchy, take it away. It's on you.
So Herbie on the inside track, already falling a little bit behind Aaron. Looks like Aaron is probably going to be the first one through the 890J, but there is going to be a fight behind him. Are we going to see a collision? It looks like we are all good as they come out of the 890, but right on top of each other. These guys could not be closer. A little bit of desync there, but they are still very much fighting for this one. We'll see where they're positioned after we get through this Caterpillar, because we're going to see a lot of overtakes happen, especially when we get back through the 890. Where you can already see, we're probably going to see another fight between the 2nd and 3rd position players here, which looks like it is Sire Alpha and Punch Buggy in 2nd and 3rd. So they're going to rush through this. No collisions, and you are free.
Oh, man, it's looking very deadly here today. Infinite Empire, Aaron the God, Skyr Alpha, and Herbie right down the middle. But look how close everybody is, man. Any little bump can really put him out of here. Here goes the white turns going into the sharper turns. Here comes an overtake here from Herbie. A little bit of a bump there. I believe that was Herbie, or no, Herbie moved.
I think that was Blackhawks.
So
I think Blackhawks was in 4th place. Almost got themselves all the way to 2nd place, but then we had that little collision there. So there we go. Infinite Empire in 1st, Sire Alpha in 2nd, Blackhawks in 3rd, and Punch Buggy in 4th. So Herbie was the one that actually got collided with there towards there, and Ludox was able to come from 4th and gain a little bit of ground there. Everyone's still very much on top of each other going into lap 2.
Yep, now this is the moment right now where your nerves are going to be shaken and you're trying to control your vehicle. You're trying to control the SCV to perfection here in this race, Crunchy. This is the finals. So this is the teams that are going to have to, continue with that concentration and persevere, stay resilient all the way to the end, because they still have about 8.5 more laps to go. Can Aaron the God continue to keep that lap, or will Salem Frost be able to close that gap? Because right now, all these teams could use that 25 points, for the exception of Herbie right now, Crunchy.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, we've seen in the regular heat groups, we saw Aaron was able to maintain that lead after that collision with Tint. And that is happening right now, but Sire Alpha is not letting up. So we have a big fight here in the front. You can already see they're starting to separate a little bit into 2 packs, but they are all within a couple of seconds of each other. We haven't had, I don't think, this close of a match with all 4 races 3 laps in. It's very, very close, but so far it's solid. We haven't seen an overtake since lap 1.
Man, this is making me nerve-wracking, because I mean, you see all these guys just flying through those RSI Lynx Rovers, and it's less than a second between all of them right now, Crunchy. They're all about 1 second. So it's all about how you can take these turns. Are you going to go on the inside? Are you going to stay on the outside? Man, this is going to be close. Look how close the first 2 are. You got Aaron the God, Salem Frost are neck on neck. Are they going to be able to go through? Are they going to be able to risk it? Do they want to win it? These are the picture-perfect finals, but they go through it just fine. And I believe Skyr Alpha is leading there in front. But remember, he's going to have to take a wider turn in order to get around this Caterpillar, Crunchy. If not, he's going to get past once again and lose the lead.
Yeah, very much so. I do believe that Sire Alpha. Oh, no, a collision with two of our racers. I think that may have been Aaron and Blackhawks. If we can get an overview camera just to double check. So we currently have Aaron in first place, Herbie in second, Salem Frost in third, and Ludox in fourth. So a huge shakeup of what was going on the field there. Herbie going from fourth place to second, Salem Frost being pushed down to third place. That is massive.
Don't die on me, Crunchy. This race has been absolutely electric so far. But to see Herbie in that second place spot, man, and not make any mistakes. I mean, Aaron the God is doing fantastic. He is staying concentrated. Again, I keep saying resilient because they are. He needs to continue driving perfect because I've seen Herbie continue to close the gaps with these perfect turns around the Caterpillars. He's going to be able to catch up if they don't stay composed as much as they can here. But we need to see Skyr Alpha really bring that back. Will they be able to catch up? Will Blackhawks be able to catch up? This is going to be it right now because if they don't, they need to be able to land as much points as they can. Again, I want to see Skyr Alpha rise from the depths of the back end of the leaderboard and hopefully catch up soon. So they need to concentrate and bring the heat to the race, Krancy. You alive?
Yeah, I'm alive somehow.
Okay.
I'm just so shocked. It's really important, guys, to remember as well that because we are in the finals, the difference between third and fourth is absolutely massive. 12 points versus 8 points. Huge. Second and third, 18 points versus 12 points, right? So these small little battles that we're seeing in the back right now, like with currently Sire Alpha and Blackhawks, they matter. They really, really matter for points. And, you know, Herbie is going to try to get, they're about 3 seconds behind Infinite Empire. They're going to try to get that distance a little bit closer because that's also huge for them. Everyone has absolutely huge things to gain here.
Yeah, as you can see, like some people are playing smart right now. That's already he's closing the gap. They're going wide out in the beginning. They're bringing it in, closer towards the Caterpillar at the end. But man, the concentration on Aaron the God has been absolutely phenomenal. I really want to see these. I kind of want to see the pack kind of catch up towards the end, but a little bit over halfway with 6 minutes in the race so far, Krancy. I mean, I don't see anything stopping it. Infinite the God to, put some points on the board for his team right now. It's looking very great so far. I mean, will they be able to get it done? Who knows? They need to continue, man. Like how nerve-wracking it is, knowing that you have to go 10 laps and you have to be perfect. If not, somebody's going to pass you. That can really put you on. Can Infinite Empire, if Infinite Empire wins right now, they're in 9th place, Krancy. So that's going to put them around 30-plus points, and it's going to easily put them around 5th to 6th place, man. So Infinite Empire, I know they really want it, Krancy.
Yeah, definitely. It's like I've been mentioning, that's going to put them within spitting range of top 3. And that's what they need for these last 3 races. For second place, if Punch Buggy is able to maintain the second place position, which might be a little hard because I have seen Sire Alpha and Blackhawks are making a little bit of distance between them. But if Punch Buggy is able to maintain this, that's going to launch them to 90 points, which is going to be incredibly hard for some of our competitors to beat over the next couple of races, but not necessarily impossible. Sire Alpha and Blackhawks, both of them can gain so much from one position. And that's really what we're watching. That is the big fight that's happening right now. Aaron and Herbie are maintaining this 3-second distance between them, but Sire Alpha, Blackhawks, they're right on top of each other.
Yeah, right now, Aaron the God just keeping a straight, lean turns, keeping strong. I don't think, I think if Herbie doesn't catch up, which, look, a big white turn there, I don't think they're going to catch up to him. I think it's going to be Infinite Empire really putting these points on the board. And as much as I wanted it for Skyr Alpha, Krancy, I think that's going to give that team Infinite Empire a massive boost in the confidence in order to move on to these next 2 races coming up, because it's going to really, really skyrocket them all the way up to that top 5 spot on the leaderboard. So that's what makes it super exciting, right? For them to be able to start at the bottom and then come up to the top just by winning one race, that will definitely increase my confidence going up to these next few races that are definitely going to be challenging for everybody overall. So next race is a Dragonfly. Is that going to be a 4-wheel vehicle? It's going to be a Deadly River Canyon. So if they can really do great and win some back-to-back races, Krancy, that's going to put them in a good spot to win, to land on that podium come the end of the season. So, but 2 more laps to go. Kronstein, I mean, do you see anybody passing each other at this point? Because Infinite Empire is bringing the heat right now.
So, as I've sort of mentioned, Sire Alpha and Blackhawks are right on top of each other. They have been for a large portion of the race. It looks like actually that distance has increased, almost a perfect distance between each racer currently. Herbie has made a little bit of ground on Aaron, but it's not going to be enough yet. We are 2 laps before the finish. There needs to be probably a collision in order for them to get past here, but I wouldn't put it past these competitors. We are at the very end of the race. This is when the nerves start hitting. This is when you start to make risks that you normally wouldn't, because maybe you're a little bit scared that someone's right behind you. So just try to stay calm. Try to see if you can exploit any of the mistakes that your opponents make in this last lap. As we come around for this last lap, Infinite Empire 3 seconds ahead of Punch Buggy, who are 4 seconds ahead of Blackhawks, who are 3 seconds ahead of Alpha. It is almost perfectly situated.
All right, here we go with the final lap here of race number 5 of the System 7. Here we go, Infinite Empire, Under the God. Will he solidify his place and gain those maximum points that he needs to get to the top? Will Herbie be able to continue to increase the gap as far as he can and stay number 1 on the leaderboard? Can Blackhawks continue to increase the gap between them and Amrock's Fang? Skyer Alpha in 4th place, I believe, was able to, Ludox was able to pass Salem Frost, putting Skyer Alpha in 4th place, unfortunately. But that hopefully can increase their confidence for the next races coming up. But it seems like Infinite Empire with the finish and the win, Kroncy.
Yeah, well done, Aaron the God. Finally not making me look like a fool every time I say that you're going to do well. So well done. Congratulations. That is going to be really awesome for you. That's going to be another solid 25 points, putting you, Mr. Aaron the God, at 31 points. So that is definitely putting you within spitting distance of that top 3. Punch Buggy, Herbie, an amazing finish, coming in second, getting 18 points, putting you at 91 points. 91 points on the leaderboard. So that is absolutely massive for Herbie. That does not crown them the winner, but it puts them incredibly close. So I appreciate them not winning so that we can see a little bit more about what's going to happen with number 1 place next week and for the finals. And Blackhawks and Sire Alpha, some amazing performances by you the entire race day today. Thank you very much. Well done. Get your points, get out, and we'll see you at the next race.
Yep. Right now, I am making sure that these folks are getting their points. We're going to get the leaderboard updated, but what an incredible race. Let's go see some replays from that last race, because that was great so far. Very, very exciting, man. Nothing's going to top that number, that heat group number 1, Kroncy. That was absolutely... That was some scary moments there, but that was definitely a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, lots of moments today that we got to watch that were just really, really entertaining to watch. And the races definitely put on a bit of a show, taking some of the risks through the 890J. It was really awesome to see. Here you go. So we have earlier in the race this little fight here. I believe this was between Herbie and Ludox. Just managed to get through without issue. You take the risks, you barely make it, and then you're happy. So a great performance from them.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I think, guys, again, June 10th, make sure you guys are there, because this next race is going to be absolutely mind-blowing. River Canyon Chaos, but man, Kroncy, today has been absolutely phenomenal. I want to say congrats to all the racers so far, but man, I'm doing this leaderboard right now, and it's looking very, very tight for some spots here. Like, anybody that gets first place can really come from the ashes and try to attack for a podium spot, believe it or not. So it's very scary to see overall, Kroncy. It's very, very scary to see.
Yeah, for sure. No one, even Herbie, has to still sweat it a little bit, right? They did an amazing performance today, but they still have work to do, regardless of how good their performance has been over the last couple of races. We're going to see when we get the leaderboard up, You know, there's 50 points potentially to be had, and there are a bunch of races in this competition that can definitely get those back-to-back wins. And there is Papa Freedom with his weekly crash at the end of the race. Classic.
Always a classic here. So, hey, again, shout outs to all of our teams, man. Really appreciate everybody. I believe the leaderboard is ready to go. So let's pop the leaderboard up on screen so we can see our current standing here after race number 5 of the System 7. We see Team Punch Buggy with 91 points. Team Blackhawks landing themselves 12 points at 56. Amarok's Fang at 47. Delta Data at 37. By the way, Infinite Empire. Yes, Infinite Empire was only at 6 points. Look at them. They went from 9th place all the way to 5th with that one win, Croncy. I would be super hyped going into the next 2 races. I want to dominate. I want to climb up the rest of it, climb up the ladder. But any of these teams from Capcom Alpha all the way up to, I would say, 4th place can easily win a couple races and get that podium spot. Because I still feel like Blackhawks and Amarok's Fang are not too far up the ladder, Croncy. So great position so far by some of these teams.
Yeah, definitely. And as we can see, like I was sort of mentioning, Herbie has not solidified his first place position. There are a potential 50 points to one of our races that can get past that. So Blackhawks and Amarok's Fang, you are still in the running for first place position. If you can get some solid back-to-back wins, you can get past Herbie.
Yep.
And Herbie, you're a guaranteed podium spot. So that's absolutely fantastic. An amazing job from you this season. It has been incredibly impressive watching you become a better racer and whatnot. And now look at all these people that can podium. So like I said, we've got those, potential 50 points. Pretty much everyone up to and including Catcom, theoretically, can still podium if we see some of these performances over the course of the next few races. So I think there's still a lot of things that can change around. We saw this leaderboard change quite a bit today. It is looking to be a really exciting last couple of races.
Yeah, for this SCV short circuit, it was absolutely incredible, man. I had to change up the name because it was still on the race number 4. But ladies and gentlemen, this has been a great race, and let's take a look at the prizes because this is what the teams are fighting for. Like to get the bragging rights for an entire year, raise that, that System 7 trophy, get that championship jacket that if you go to CitizenCon, you can wear with pride. Only first place get that. So to wear that championship jacket so people can know that you won the System 7, get some in-game digital goodies as well. So, it's always incredible to see. For 2nd and 3rd place, you get the smaller trophies and you get some, some System 7 jerseys. So we're not leaving you to dry yet, So, interesting so far. Great race from all of our competitors, but it's been an incredible race for the SCV short circuit. A great pivot from the BTR, even though I really wanted to see the BTR. I've been dying to see the BTR course, Croncy, but until they fix the server stability, we're losing those wheels because server SPS is only 5. I mean, we just can't really risk that for the racers, and just, it's not going to be fun for the racers. So I think this was a great pivot for this race. I think it was a great day of racing overall, and I'm pretty happy with it. How about you, Croncy?
Yeah, as I sort of alluded to earlier, after maybe like the 3rd heat or so, I think so far of this season, this was actually my favorite event that we had. There was so much action. There was so much like interesting collisions and the skill that was shown by the racers just really felt leagues ahead of what we've seen in the last couple of races. So it's going to be a hard one to top, but I'm sure our racers will be able to entertain us, especially when we get to the final race at Lowville.
Yep. Well, with all further ado, I want to say thanks to all of our staff. Again, security, Walkers of Sigma, appreciate you guys. Camera crew, checkpoints, everybody that was using the RSI links to Rover as a Zamboni to get debris out. Look, man, this staff is so resilient. The racers are resilient. I love you guys. Thank you guys all so much, man. I really appreciate it, man. This race like we were freaking out, man. Like servers are cuckoo, you know, like servers were going insane. But hey, guess what, man? I don't know. We continue with saying this, but Ammo Esports makes shit happen. I love to see it. It's insane. But Crunchy, any last words here for the community, where people can find you? Give yourself some love, man. I appreciate having you back here.
Sure. Yeah, you can always find me on twitch.tv/Crunchy or on YouTube and stuff. And yeah, thanks everyone for joining us for a really awesome race. Kind of like what Crucian was saying, there was some severe issues that was kind of scaring us before the race started, and then everything kind of went great. So, count your blessings sort of thing. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Thank you to the staff as well.
Yep. And again, on behalf of Atmo Esports, thank you all at home for watching. You guys are absolutely incredible. Thank you for your support again. Don't forget to grab your merch and the Atmo Esports store, man. I really want to see all you guys at Citizen Con with some Atmo Esports merch. Put your gamer tag in the back so that way we can know who you are. Maybe some of you guys that have been talking in chat, that way we can identify you, man. But have a beautiful rest of your day, guys. Enjoy your weekend. Stay safe, and we'll see you on June 10th for River Canyon Chaos. Peace out, guys.